and roses, roses shaking in their boots. Invisible bully, like the roots disappear. That moose, you whack to me. Take them rhymes back to the factory. I see the gimmicks, the whack lyrics, the shit is depressing. Please forget it. You mad?
Hey, baby. That Michelle be getting down on that one. Hey, Virgo boo.
Now look here, you old heifer. If you keep walking away every time I type in these goddamn comments, I'ma fuck you up. Okay?
Okay.
I done said Happy New Year 12 times.
I
Now I
heard
want to
you.
say
Happy
fuck
New
you
Year,
in
baby.
your New Year.
Fuck me and my New Year. No, it's bless me and my New Year.
Well, I tried to, but you wanted to keep walking away when I kept trying. So you
I
know
had,
what?
look, y'all
Now
know,
fuck
look.
you in your New Year.
No, it's not. It's bless me and my New Year. Y'all know the old lady is old. She have to keep on. I can't see. Over the
Okay,
house,
well
your
I'm
New
about
Year going so far.
girl, good. I've been trying to stay out the way, you know. Yep.
That's the
All
way
that.
it be.
I do my little recaps when I do, and then I go back into my little bubble for 3, 4 days, and I come back out, do some recaps, and then go
Why
back
you
into my
stop
bubble.
going in the middle of the night like you was?
Cause I got this baby.
Okay.
I gotta sleep when he sleep.
I just want to make sure that was the only reason because we know some people.
Oh no! I gotta sleep when he sleep.
Oh, gotcha. That makes. I'm here for that. All right. You know,
I've been popping out. Like I think I might go live tonight. I was live the other night. I went live at my regular time. And was live until like 6 a.m.
okay, cool. That's what I. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
opposition, baby.
It just
Yes,
depends on
child.
the day.
Yeah. So, you make sure you do what you do. Don't let nobody stop you from doing what you do.
Oh yeah, no, this ain't give it to me. That ain't got it ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. Girl, I'm living my life. My kids, my nephew, all of them they come first.
That's what's
TikTok
up.
will be here.
And damn sure will. Damn
But all
sure
right,
will.
let me get up out of here and let you get back to
All
talking
right, baby.
about whatever you was talking about. Bye.
We're just doing, we just, I had said I was not doing no messy talk, but today after that little situation, I had to just put my 2 cents in because it just really triggered me. So I just wanted to know, did any more information come out? Did y'all get any
I
more
was there.
info? Hey, love,
I was there.
happiness.
I was there for a little bit. But I didn't hear anything. I'm sure I was there for a little bit. I saw when you came up.
Oh, damn
But
shame.
yeah. Well, all right. Let me get
All
up out of
right,
here.
baby. That's right. Be good. See, Michelle was in. Hold on.
phone. Like, turn your phone up.
You said what?
Turn your phone up.
My phone. This right here? All the way up. All the way up, baby.
Now we can hear you better.
Yeah. No, what happened today kind of just triggered me because, it triggered me because, people, thank you, baby. Because my thing is, if your ass out there rubbing your fucking feet together and people out here, you know what I'm saying, real life, doing, you know what I'm saying, thinking they avenging something, that just really pisses me the fuck off.
Well, I don't know if you was tuning in earlier or not, but Skylar came over to my platform. And,
I do. Thank you, Miss
like,
James.
he
What
said,
you do?
like, he don't see why people is still calling coroners, because it's been 3
Coroner.
weeks. Yeah.
Coroner.
He said it's been 3 weeks. He
What that
said
mean?
he don't see why, like, people still calling the coroner's office, because it's already been 3
Why?
weeks.
Because, okay, what's the point? What is his
He
point?
was just basically saying that the service they already had it.
Okay.
And I guess it was 2 days before the memorial,
How you know?
which I seen what he seen too. It was talking about the obituary was posted on a Dignity. It was Dignity.
That was not real. Hey.
But I
Yeah, I be
seen
on
that
every day. I
same,
just don't talk about messy talk. Only reason we're talking
like,
about it tonight because it triggered me. What happened?
I seen that same link though, but I clicked on it too, but nothing came up.
I mean, the way I look at it is, people probably somewhere sitting somewhere rubbing their feet together, laughing like hell and all this shit.
But deep down, to be honest, I do feel like she is gone. I'm not gonna lie.
You know. Okay. Way into Lucky, how are you, baby? Maybe, child. Maybe. Just maybe. But I know this much. What you buy? It's a bunch of brushes, and I love me some earrings, some accessories. Who is this in my box? Lucky.
Hey, Kid. I just came up to tell you I've been loving your Get Ready With Me
Thank you.
videos. You've been looking real cute. So I just came up here
Oh,
to tell you
well,
that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
Baby, thank you. Now, I don't think these gonna work, but I thought they were. They might. These are so cute, aren't they? Really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Thank y'all. I be trying to. I got a little number I'm gonna do tomorrow because it's gonna be 70 something degrees tomorrow. So got a little something, something. But look at these, y'all. Y'all know I actually have these,
Did
but I
y'all
have
get
them in a different.
snow yet?
No. Look at these, y'all. Purple.
Did
Purple.
y'all get
And these were
snow?
actually $2.99, y'all. I can't wait to pop these out. Matter of fact, y'all saw these. I already showed y'all these, didn't I? How these came. $30, but I had to have them. What y'all think? Y'all think these will go with this pan? That'll work, won't it? This pan right here. And these, yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't think that'll go.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah,
Let me see
weird.
the color.
Guess what I'm having for dinner? These are a pair of wide leg pants, and if I don't go out of town no time soon, they will be worn here in Georgia.
So did
Got
you
me
start planning
borrowed
for
out of
Thursday?
for who?
Did you start planning for
For
Thursday?
what's that? Oh, Thursday. Shit, I forgot to send out the invitation. I have to do that tonight. Poor chop, look what I
Yeah,
got, y'all.
because one
I already
person
prayed
said
up.
she'd be there.
Oh, that's 12. Me and 12 will catch up anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Okay. So, um, so Matt, they never came back.
Now that I seen her, I don't know. Mama half asleep.
What, what that man on I Love Chris? Oh shit! What he used to
Everybody
say?
hate Chris?
Everybody hate Chris. What the man used to say? Tragic.
You think
Man, they
Julius?
had everybody, that waiting for his ship, and then he didn't come back.
The one to be like, this is tragic.
Right. Mm-mm-mm. Sure. Mm-mm-mm.
I'm surprised Lena didn't get snow.
Maybe it's 70 degrees. It was 62 today.
Y'all don't get snow or something?
We got it twice last year. Look, this is beef bacon from Walmart. Remind me to stick to the brand I like. Good all, a good shawl. Cause it's thick, but that good shawl is good.
Yeah, I started following my texts today. I owe.
I bet you do, oh shit. It's just you.
Yeah. I didn't know I had to add TikTok too, and I did.
Why you ain't made enough money add no damn TikTok? The hell you
No,
talking
I
about?
still I still have check subs too.
How much money have you made on TikTok?
I made a lot. I made a few thousand.
You a fucking few lie.
Nah, that's not. That's what I put. Okay.
Well, that ain't what you made, okay. They say you lie now. Thank you, baby. Don't say you tell a lie.
I'm just lying about that TikTok part. I ain't put that on my tests.
So what the hell gonna put you on
I'm
this?
not.
You ain't made no
I'm
money
not
for that.
following. Yeah, I ain't. I'm not following that, so I didn't do that one. But I was over here trying to figure out how to get that 10K back because I know how to do it. But I was trying to dot all my T's and dot my I's. I was watching TikTok all day on the text. But yeah.
What the hell is you doing?
I don't know if you heard about this lady. This lady went to the girl that did her tests last year, and she claimed her kids, and then her own kids on her tests and took the girl test money.
Yeah, they do that. That's what people. I mean,
She was like, I should have went to that.
I own the tax business for
You said,
years. Baby, they come with the territory, baby. You know what deal
wait, you
with.
do taxes too?
I ain't know nobody tax. Not this year. I haven't done tax since COVID, and I literally was like, COVID was my last year. Well, 2019 was my last year. When 2020 came in, I was so busy. My clients would hit me up, and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. I can't. I'm showing home. I'm doing mortgages. I'm all of this and that. And so I was like, I truly can't do it. And no lie, COVID happened that March, and everybody went to doing, the PPP and all that stuff. And then
Mhm.
whoever filed your taxes, that's who would get your PPP money. So I was like, thank you God, because some of the people were getting tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars, but it was going to their tax preparer because that's how they had got their refund. And you talking about a million? I said, God, you know what you're doing. I ain't had to worry about none of that. Just so
I
happened
just
that
feel.
I
Hmm.
turned the business down that because 2019 was my last year. Now that I know, I'm thinking about, we want to do this year. Hey, Dad. Excuse me. Hey, Daddy, me. Yeah. Yeah, doing your own
I
tax is
did-
really easy, especially if you don't have any children. Even if you had if you're a W-2 employee and with a child, it should take you more than 5 minutes total. 3 to 5 minutes to do your own taxes.
nah,
If you're a
probably
W-2
10
employee
minutes.
with no children, it should literally take you 60 seconds. Like for real.
10 minutes.
I'm trying to taxes that long.
Because they gotta make sure you ain't got no audit on the paperwork. So it should be a maximum of 10 minutes.
Yeah, we got 1040 easy.
Because they
When it
normally
comes,
say an hour and 57.
so what?
When you start like on TurboTax, it says an hour and 57 minutes.
Mm-mm. All that should be doing passwords and shit. But once they, because they make the system so easy now that they put an actual W-2 up on the screen, and so basically a clown could do it. Box one, box two, whatever numbers you see in the W-2 that's in your hand, you put those numbers in the W-2 that you see on the screen, and then your first name, first name, last, social, date of birth, address. It's gonna then it start interviewing you. It just says you got any children, you don't have any children, and then one or two more questions. It's gonna go ahead and say you're a 1040 easy, and it's gonna say you're done. Our 1040 easy is literally, I said, 60 seconds, 3 minutes tops, because you really don't have any deductions, any expenses to deduct. So
I be trying to see who giving the most. So I be going to, I enter it all on H&R Block. When I see, okay, the amount that I'm like, oh, okay, I'm liking it. I go to TurboTax to see if it's more. Yeah. But sometimes H&R Blocks beat TurboTax and give you more.
no, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't see how, considering what I know about you. Hey, darling, you are a 1040 easy all day long. You are single, no dependent. You're not here the household. Hey, Gigi, baby, thank you. Blessings to you too as well, baby. No dependence. Hey, hey, Black Book Vibes, thank you. So it's just, it is what it is. All of them should have the exact same amount. Hey, yeah. So that's just basically what it is. Unless you answering some of those questions and they're like, oh, did you da 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 da? And once you say you did, then that open up another can of worms, and then you gotta put in the figures for that. So, but then you no longer 1040 easy. 1040 easy is literally thank you as a single, no dependence, and no deductions. So
Only thing I
yeah,
could say, only thing I could say is I could help y'all get over 35K bet.
yeah, and go to jail. Taxes is it's not hard to do. Taxes are not hard to do, but a lot of people don't. What I don't like, this is like a mystic. I used to get these when I was little. They came out when I was like in sixth or seventh grade. I used to remember just walking to the store in my neighborhood to get the mystics. But and I used to love the kiwi strawberry. But one thing about taxes, right? Um, they're very easy to do. You remember them in the 90s, yup. But and I hate this about us in the hood, or us as black people, I shouldn't say in the hood, us as black people. We would rather put fraudulent stuff on there than actually learn in publications, reading publications, where the actual deductions are, the tax codes, the tax laws are in the publications, and they are public. That's why they call publications, because they're publicized, and they're for anyone to access and read and see, do they apply to you. No, it's not illegal for someone to charge you $2K to do taxes. Not at all. CPAs charge way more than that sometimes. Accountants charge extremely more than that. I want to go back to school and I don't want to be a CNA or nurse. What's the other options? Or you want to stay in healthcare? Because if you want to stay in healthcare, just be a medical assistant or a medical coder.
You could be a respiratory therapist. You could do
Be
a.
respiratory therapists. They make some good money.
You
You know
could
what?
be
You
out.
know something? I didn't know who made good money. The freaking people who surgical techs, the ones who clean the surgical tools, because surgeries
Mhm.
are going on all day, every day. The people who clean those goddamn tools make so much money. I did not know.
You can also be a physical therapist or an
Phlebotomists
outpatient.
don't. I don't understand why phlebotomists is damn near the lowest of all the healthcare, which they have the most risk. Because if you sitting there with someone who has HIV/AIDS and you stick them and they move and you stick yourself, you probably got. Hey, Charlie, thank you. You scrub. I scrub in a lot as vet tech. Yep, you're gonna be clean now. Hey. But yeah, this bacon sandwich is bullshit, and I don't want it. Yep, I'll eat these chips for dinner. Yes, yeah, surgical tech, sterilization tech. Them bad boys make
Nursing.
some bread. They make some
You
bread.
could
They
be a
don't have to deal
nurse.
with the patients. They don't have to deal with the patients and stuff. Thank you, Tara. They don't have to deal with the patients. They don't have to deal with they don't have half that, but their job is extremely important and like, can you imagine if like surgical techs like went on strike? It would kill the world. It would kill the United States. Well, the world, because
Yeah.
every country in the world has surgical techs in their hospital cleaning supply. You have to clean those supplies. They have no choice. You're welcome. Yeah, look into the surgical techs and the sterilization techs. Look into those. I heard they're like 9 months too. I heard they're not a very very long program, and you can't do bodily fluids or waste. I mean,
You should
I don't
really.
mind. Yeah, I don't mind seeing blood. I don't want to see a body cut open or anything like that. But if I gotta go pick up, a bunch of what they call it? Speculas. If I gotta pick that up, and they got blood residue. I don't care. It's no
You
different
should.
to have blood residue from an animal that you've been cutting up at home. You cut
You
that
should
chicken
really.
up, and it's got blood residue all over your knife.
You should really look into respiratory because people really don't see that type of career for real. But just know when
Yeah,
people stop breathing, guess who had to call for help? Respiratory.
yeah. So it's healthcare field will forever be here. It is one of those things where AI can't do it. Um, so you're gonna have a lot of people going into that field. So the best thing, oh my God, Katie, what you mean? Um, you're gonna see a lot of people that's in these corporate fields where AI is doing a lot of their work. They're gonna be trying to find, especially to finish out their, till they retire. I'm a sitter for the hospital now. Yep. So, um, a lot of people will be entering the healthcare field because all this AI is taking over. AI is taking over a lot of corporate jobs. Um, and quite frankly, jobs where you can work from home. And people, they set us up. If your job is where you can work from home, I love you too, baby. If your job is where you can work from home, just know in the future your job gonna be where you're gonna be at home, not working, because they're trying to replace you. So any job where you need to be there is gonna be in high demand in the future. That's all I'll say to you. If you are comfy at home, don't get comfortable because they are looking for your replacement currently. They are currently trying to figure out how to make sure you don't have to come back. So, like I told my husband, we own businesses and still do. But the biggest challenge that we had was keeping staff, keeping people that wanted to work and all that stuff. And I said, babe, trust me, in the future, that would not be our problem. Thank you, darling. And so are you. And so I told him, I said, that won't be our problem in the future. My husband is all facets of construction. There ain't a robot out there who can do his job. Period. So, yeah, exactly. Do you think AI is going to the post office? I think it will help. I think AI can definitely, I didn't even think I would be using AI as much as I do, but I do. I done got to the point now when I get a client, I go into my AI and I say, hey, let's open an envelope or let's open a file. I call it a file. Let's open a file for Mary Jones. Let's open a file for Mary Jones. She's a buyer, prospect. And I didn't even realize this. AI does everything. I'll upload Mary Jones's credit report. It'll scan that bad boy and it will come back and tell me, okay, well, Mary Jones is a good prospect for FHA. She's a good prospect for blah, blah, blah. And here's the problems you may run into with this particular loan program. And let me go ahead and write you a letter explaining what happened with this late payment or that. I'm like, damn. So there's a thing in our field, in the mortgage field, that's called a mortgage loan processor. My license as a mortgage loan originator also allows me to be a processor. So that's another type of company that I could open if I ever decide. That's why y'all need to learn how to get careers, right? Don't get jobs, get careers, because if you get burned out on one facet, you can migrate to the other and so on and so forth. Now, if I wanted to open up and I've been doing my own mortgage processing for all my files for the last 8 years. So I know mortgage processing backwards and forwards, right? And mortgage processing starts at about $900 per file. That's just a plain old single family, government loan, FHA, USDA, that's that. Now, if we get off into the other type of loans, you're talking about $1,500, $2,000 per file. And most processors can handle 30 files a month. So just think about it. 1,000, that's 30K a month. And if they don't get the loan, it ain't your problem. If they don't, you're going to do everything in your power to assist the loan officer and making sure all documents are in, everything is in, but you don't have any responsibility. If they don't make their mortgage payment, nobody contacts you, your name is been in and you're technically not in it. And so if I ever decide I don't want to do mortgages, I'm going to be a loan processor. I'll just open up a loan processing company and I'll train other people and I'll have all my people, under me handling 30 files a month. And it's easy to do, somebody called me from TikTok the other day, was like, well, I want to get my mortgage license. And I was like, you won't work for me. I'm not hiring loan officers. I wouldn't dare hire a loan officer because it's a very dangerous job. You can really do some crazy stuff with a mortgage loan officer's license. So therefore, only trust me, and I'm only gonna be me. But if I was open up a mortgage, and I still could, you can do them both simultaneously. But if I ever opened up a loan processing company, I would probably have 20 girls. I would have hired a ton of y'all. I would tell you can't come on TikTok anymore. Not on Messy Talk anyway, be on the NDA like no other. But I would definitely, because I love to take people and train them on things they never thought they could do and show them how I did it in insurance. I trained girls fresh out of McDonald's while working at McDonald's. I used to go into the restaurants and grab girls and they would hand me my order. I say, would you like to learn the insurance business? They're like, yeah. I'm like, I bet. Some of them took it and really did big things. Some of them, literally, one of them is a branch manager right now. She worked at KFC, and we still laugh about it to this day because she showed up at my office with fur slippers on. I was like, night slippers, like the little rabbit teddy bear that you stick your feet in and it covers your whole foot. She came to work like that on the first day. I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, you can wear your KFC khaki pants, but you must wear, and I gave her an embroidered shirt. And I said, I need you to have some slip-ons, slides or whatever, ballerina shoes or whatever. But hell no, don't you know where these? And she is literally a branch manager now. She worked for me for not long at all, not very long at all. She's a fellow Capricorn, so she's a bossy little girl. But I call her a little girl, but she's a full woman. But she, when we parted ways, she said she was going back to KFC. But next thing I know, she was at the bank. She worked as a teller, then worked as a lead, and then she branch manager here and branch. So she's like literally started with me, but she didn't see that coming. We love to tell everybody that story when we talk to people. And I actually did her mortgage. I actually sold her house. But yeah, so I used to take people, hey darling, I used to take people out of the restaurant and show them the insurance business. So I definitely would do that as a loan processor. If I opened up my own loan processing company, I would probably, like I said, because you could get each person handling 30 deals a month. That's everybody bringing you in $30,000. Just imagine having 10 people bring you $30K a month. That's some nice money. That's $300,000 a month, and you times that by 12. You've done over $3.5 million in a year.
Hey, Key, I had wanted to ask if AI is going to be taking over all these jobs, what are we going to do? I mean, how are we going to survive out here if AI is taking so many jobs? It
Well, I
sounds so
think
crazy.
y'all haven't been paying attention. You haven't been paying attention. They've been kicking Hector them out and telling them to take their happy asses back to Venezuela and Mexico and all this. And they like the lowest of the totem pole, those who have no degree, education, none of that. You're going out there in the field. Because the field is always, AI can't pick that grape. AI can't pick that corn.
So you think that's what the future is? It's like if you don't have no skills that contribute to something that can be done, I don't know how to say it. Electronically, that's not the right word, but
Everybody
something.
now should be getting, like when with my kids, I always told them be marketable, right? Be marketable. Always be able to be ready to pivot, right? Like with me, right now the real estate business is decent, right? It's okay, but when I came into the industry, I was leaving insurance, and insurance is crazy, but insurance does well in bad times, right? When soon as the market start crashing, as soon as the economy start going bad, the first thing that gets on people's minds is I need to be insured. I need my life insured. I need my house insured. I need my cars insured. I need everything insured, because people look at it this way. I'm already hanging on by a goddamn string, right? So if a catastrophe happens, I need to be ready, right? Or they think, hey, something may happen bad and I may have to use this insurance. I may have to crash this car and get a little money or whatever. So insurance becomes the number one product in bad times. And by God's grace and mercy, when I came in insurance the first time, it was in 2007. When I opened my business March of 2007. So I was trying to be this prim and proper insurance agent. And I was, everybody I sold a home and I was giving them a gold, thank you, give them a gold embossed card and magnet, and all the things. And then the market crashed a few months later. And so did my business. And then everybody started losing their homes, right? So I couldn't sell home insurance. I was doing bundles. I was home and car. That's the way you want to do it. That's a professional insurance agent. Bundle them up. Well, nobody had a damn house to bundle. And so I quickly failed, right? And like I said, by God, that man that came in my life, and the first thing he asked me when we sat down, he said, "What you been up to?" And I said, "Well, I had on an insurance agency, but it went down." He said, "Well, how much would it take to get it back?" I said, "Like $50K to open an agency." He said, "You have it in what he said, in a year or 6 months or something." I was like, "What you finna do?" And but he didn't get me my agency back the way he thought he would. And God knows, I was like, "All right, we're not trying to do it that way." But he encouraged me, and he was like, "Just get back in the industry, get back in the, do I mentor all the time?" Yeah. And so he was like, and it was just like God, I was going on, and I had looked at it one way. I was humble, and I was like, "Hey, I'll just go to work at a agency. It's no big deal." And I remember going, he's a Nigerian guy. He has a law degree, but insurance women and lawyers will tell you this, sales will always usually trump law degrees, because a lot of, especially when lawyers who work for themselves, they got to be super good to really make bank in the law field, because a lot of times clients don't like to pay and stuff. So, okay, I got you. So he had a law degree and everything, but he opened him up an Allstate, and I went to an interview, and I was like, I can do it. And he was looking at me like, "What you up to?" And he's like, I can offer you $8 an hour. So I was like, "Bet, no problem." But he knew, he was in his mind, he was like, "This girl has the exact same thing I have. She has a license. We're the same." And that's what I love about professional licenses. He could trump me all day long with that law degree. I'm not doing those 8 years. You know what I mean? But I did those. So same 40 hours he did, I did. And so in that way, we equal. So his whole thing was, what is she up to? Like, why would she take $8 when if she's a go-getter, she can just do what I'm doing? So he didn't hire me. And I called Tony, and I was really pissed. I'll never forget. I talked to him all the way home, and I was like, "Babe, this is a mess. Like, I'm humbled. I'm ready to work." And you said, we talked about me going back in my field, and I love it. Like, I'm going to be an insurance agent till the day I die. I don't care what nobody say. Like, when you cut me open, the insurance policy pops out. And I love insurance. I love the premise of it. I love what it does. I love it protects you from catastrophe, from destruction. And I think more people need to look at it for what it is. And it took me years to really see insurance for what it was and the value of what it does for you, right? But so as I'm driving home, I'm pissed. And I'm saying to myself, yeah, knowledge is power. And I'm saying to myself, like, I'm being humble, God. I'm like really talking to God, talking to Tony on the phone, and he's like, "Babe, it's gonna come." And it literally got home. I kicked off my heels, and the phone rang. And Tony was at the kitchen sink washing dishes when I walked in. And the phone rang, and it was an insurance company. And they were saying, "Hey, we were going through all of our files, and we were seeing are you still in business?" And I looked at Tony, I was like, "Yeah." And they was like, "Well, we wanted to renew your, and we'll come." I said, "Well, here's the problem." And this used to be a big problem. No company would appoint you if you did not have an office, brick and mortar. You just wasn't going to sell insurance. And so I remember saying, "But I don't have an office right now." And they're like, "No problem. A lot of people are starting to sell from home, work from, suites and stuff." I was like, "What?" So I was like, "Well, okay, that's all right." They was like, "Can we come over and get you signed up?" I was like, "Sure." Next day, the lady was at my kitchen table, and I was signed and then the next thing you know, it was another company. And so now I had these appointments. I'm like, okay, what? Because I knew how to bundle it, I went out to the house and you get the car. That's how you sell insurance. And nobody had a damn house though. So I was like, what do I do now? So thankfully I had a guy friend. We were really good friends in high school. He even dated my best friend. And we called each other sister and brother. We went out to eat. And he's very motivated. He's a very motivated guy. So he was like, nah, what you been doing? I was like, well, I got my, insurance stuff back. But he was like, well, I own a car dealership. Why don't I just send my people to you? And so on June the 23rd, 2010, her name was Yolanda Peoples. I'll never forget. I wrote her. He called me. He was like, I got your purse. I got somebody. You ready? I was like, okay. I did the, quote. She bought it. And it was like a light bulb went off in my head, like, just go to dealerships. And so I just was riding around, dealership to dealership, right? And I wrote a lot of policies. That's the worst type of fucking business you could ever write. Do not write dealership business if you get an insurance license. It is horrible. It's fucking horrible. but it got me off the ground. It got me off the ground. I'll never forget, like 30 days later, people was like, hey, I need to make my own insurance. I'm like, you're not coming to my house. So I had to go get an office space. And okay, babe. So I went and in there.
Oh,
Why you like, what you doing?
I need some the beige one.
Oh, your soap?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hold on, y'all. So I had to go get an office space, and we did a grand opening, and they brought out the race car, and we had pictures, and it was really nice, you know. And matter of fact, our first office was right at the turn of my hood where I grew up at. I was like, okay, this is cool. But it was selling insurance, especially car insurance. I specialized in car insurance. It was not for the weak. It was there were days I would pull up at my office and I would get palpitations because I know the minute I turn these phones on, it's on. And we would be on the phone with someone at 4:59 and we'd be steady like, we get ready to push this button and hurry up and send the code so it can stop all the calls because it's a constant. And do I miss it? Yes, I'm thinking about getting back into it. But I miss the people for the most part. Because they get to be like your family. You see them every month. And so the ones who stick with you, they are loyal. I still get checks to this day from people that ain't seen me in 8 years. But they kept their policies with me. And so I still get paid. But I tell people, get in the career field. Things that are career driven, you got ways of avenues. Like I said, I started out home and auto. Then I went straight auto. I thought about doing straight commercial. There's so many facets to insurance. And then again, you can be an adjuster, which means when a catastrophe happen or, you know, a wreck or whatever, you can draft up the, you know, how much the loss costs. It's so many ways to make money when you get a professional career and or license. My husband, he drives a tractor, right? Some days he's pushing dirt. That pays about $1,000 to $1,500 for a few hours. To sometimes it may take him a full day, depending on the type of dirt he's moving. And then there are days where he might make $1,000 in 30 minutes because he's getting something up for someone, or he's grading a lot for them to build on. So it's so many avenues under drive, heavy. And that's, I need you guys to know this, especially those of you who have sons, but daughters are doing stuff too. Heavy equipment pays six figures. When you get that particular ability to drive and do heavy equipment, you're going to make some money. If you know how to work on heavy equipment, you're damn sure going to make some money. And again, those are recession proof and all kind of AI proof fields. You know what I'm saying? So diesel mechanics will always be needed.
So basically, we need to go get a trade. Is what you're saying. We need to go back to school and start doing the things that like back in the day.
Trades are what's happening. That's why that's why you're seeing these educations come out for $50 a semester, and thank you, Nico, and $500, because there is no value in it like it used to be. It's absolutely no value in it, and people minimize stuff that they can't quantify. So when I'm, if again, you're sitting at home and you're just tapping on your computer and you really haven't made nothing shake. But guess what? If I look at a forest and it's, 100 trees and I come back on Friday and it's 0 trees, I know Tony did his job. And that's what a lot of companies are looking at. Like, we are wasting money and manpower. And we're not getting a return on our investment. Not only that, we got to, we have the workers' comp, we have the insurance premiums, we have to, we have to have a building for them to be in. If they work from home, we definitely don't get, the full value out of them. The productivity at home work, it used to be higher, they said, but now people have gotten complacent. So now they're not even getting 30% productivity out of their staff when they go home. So their whole thing is all about trying to get people to show and quantify their work. So you need a career. And I mean, there are some careers that you must have a college degree. A doctor is one, a lawyer is one, a therapist is one. All those things will still be needed. You know what I mean? Still needed, and a college degree will still be valuable for those. But all these other little knockabout things that you just like a journalist. People come on this internet and become a journalist every day. Every day. Thank you. I appreciate you, darling. Every day. So they don't, they don't put the value in having a journalism degree like they used to. All right? Human resources. Every job is hiring, so you need human resources. They don't put that. You got companies like ADP that have a whole platform, and they'll give it to a company like me who has 2 or 3 employees, and somebody who has 2,000 or 3,000 employees get the same platform. ADP will do all of that. They'll do my pay stubs for me, send out my W-2s and everything for the smallest company to the largest company. What the hell you need HR people around for? That's it. Okay, you can DM me. So is the world is changing. Just be able to change with it. Change with it. Like I said, I got one mortgage company. I don't even send them any deals anymore because every time I turn around, they want AI to do everything. I'm like, I need a fucking human being. You sit over here and let this AI underwrote this file, and again, AI is only as good as you train it, right? And so it misses some things, right? So we wasted 7 days because I've been waiting on a human to fucking call me.
So AI is not gonna. You're saying that you're gonna need human beings. So AI is not gonna be the all in all then. So
No,
you think
the way AI works is you have to is prompt, right? So you have to tell AI, I need you to be a FHA underwriter having the 4000.1 all aspects of it. I need you to research the 4000.1 FHA underwriting. This loan was put in as an FHA loan. Here's the client, blah, 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 blah. Well, it will definitely have a lot of that stuff, but there are some things that it can't do. I have to get in there and work it out. Me and the underwriter have to sit on the phone and literally work it out.
you're gonna have to be able to tell the AI what to do and how to do it
Yeah. Now,
to
but the
get what you
companies
need.
the companies are training their AIs, but they still will miss some. But here's what I'm saying to you: a company that once needed. Let me tell you about mortgage company. They fire so fast it's unreal. But when they need you, they'll give you a signing bonus like nobody's business. But so you better enjoy that bonus because they're probably gonna fire you. But a mortgage company that need 100 loan officers, AI now has them where they might need 50. Because AI can do like the pre-scrubbing, especially the A paper, what we call A paper file, meaning good credit, hardly no tweaking is needed. But I do a lot of C and D paper loans. I do a lot of manual underwrites, right? I do what we call a lot of refer manual underwritten deals. AI can't touch that right now. They can try, they can scrub it initially, but they're gonna miss something. And that's when I'm gonna sit around and wait for the fucking underwriter to call me so we can have that talk. But I'm also, like I said, I'm now on watching these big mortgage companies use AI. I was like, well, shit, let me try. Let me something. Make my job easy. And it did. I didn't even realize I could put my client's file in their credit report in the fucking AI. And it will literally spit out exactly what loan program works for you or could work for you. That's a game changer. So it also can tell you some things like, based on the 4000.1, this particular trade line is going to be an issue. Here's an explanation that the underwriter would accept. So it does some work for you. So between both of us using AI to make it better, but we still have to sit down and do some talking. And that's something that AI, like I had a client that gets a raise every year at the end of the year, but it doesn't kick in until February. Well, guess what? I know that. AI don't know that, but when I talk to the underwriter, I can let the underwriter know, hey, her her whatchamacallit kick in February. The underwriter goes according to the 4,000.1. We now can use that income because it's going to start within 60 days of the closing. And that sometimes is the difference between denied and approved. But AI, if you leave them unattended, they may deny that loan. And you got a person who should be in a house, but have humans that's talking. So it becomes crazy. But I would definitely say trades, HVAC will never go anywhere. Anything let me say this. My rule to my kids and my husband, I've always said, let God keep you in business. And what I mean by that, there are things that God's going to do. He's been doing since the beginning of time. That's why I would never talk down on a lawn person. God keeps the grass growing. You just got to know how to do it to the level of you making a ton of money. And one of those ways is doing commercial landscaping. You're going to make 6 figures easy. And it's not a whole lot of overhead, because you could literally buy you a zero term, under 10K, all your little gadgets, all your little trimmers and this and that. You could probably they sell them as packages. You can have them things for under 10K. You snatch you up 2 or 3 HOAs. You're doing that in a month. So your first month, you've paid for all your equipment, and that equipment may last you, if you go get it tuned up and all that, like you do a car, it may last you 7 years.
How's the healthcare going to come into that when we start wanting to own our own businesses, like a lawn care? And then, I've been hearing the stuff like, insurance and healthcare going up. So if I want to start my own business and they're acting like, but I got to insure all these people, is that a profit there? Can I do something like that?
What do you mean? You're talking about if you open up a lawn care service?
Yes, and I have to insure all these people.
You don't have to.
Oh, I don't have
You
to?
don't have to. You
Okay.
don't have to. Now, thanks to the Republicans, they had come out with the Affordable Health Care Act, which was totally supposed to just strip people of their income tax. I don't know if y'all realize that. But, they do that thing to us. They do that one thing to us, and we fall for it every time. And I'm talking about us as in Black people. So, as y'all know, income taxes is a lot of times the Black people's holiday. Sometimes, I don't know if y'all, but in the hood, most people will live in paycheck to paycheck until income tax time. That was their one time that they could splurge. That was their one time that they could, really, really, do something special for themselves or their children. And thanks to that healthcare bill, that was getting ready to be stripped away. Why y'all didn't pay attention that income tax should have not a damn thing to do with healthcare? But when you were doing your income taxes in the last, 8 years or so, you had to ask those, do you have insurance? Is it on your job? And all that stuff. And if not, we're going to make you pay premiums. That was some bullshit. But they got a Black president to do it. They made sure a Democrat did it so that they could get away with it. A Black man told us we should be paying health care with our income tax. The one time that we really can splurge on our children. The one time we don't have to use layaway and all that bullshit. You get a Black man in here to tell us we got to pay for our health care, when we're barely making it. But thankfully, the Republicans said, not going to happen. So it didn't go down like that. So that's why y'all still getting a tax refund. Not y'all, I mean people in general are getting a tax refund. But it was supposed to go away. Literally, it was supposed
I
to
like the way you talk, Key. I was a big Obama supporter, and then I found out, like, wait a minute. I had to reevaluate myself too. I was like, hold up. And I'm telling you something I can't even tell my family for real. I had to look back and say, wait a minute, how did this benefit me at all?
Right, that part. So the Affordable Health Care Act, we're in America. I mean, I don't think we pay attention. If America gave a fuck about us, just give us free health care. Other countries do it. They have no problem doing it. They have absolutely no problem You got Americans, I see them on TikTok all the time. They living in Korea, they living in Asia, and they literally like, you get sick, you just go to the hospital. What the fuck? Nobody asks you about all that insurance and stuff. You just go to the hospital. Here it's a hustle. So I knew that America didn't give a fuck about us. That they like, oh, well, we don't make sure everybody has health insurance. You can do that. You literally can do that. And it doesn't take you taking the average American's tax refund.
But do you
Hey,
think they need to get rid of all the immigrants to do that, or can they do that on their own?
what are you
Can
talking
America?
about?
I'm saying with the immigrants, because the immigrants treat the healthcare system. They just go to the emergency room and they acting like, oh, since the immigrants are going to the emergency room, they are closing down hospitals. They're bankrupting hospitals, and all that's a lie. You think?
Listen, you have to remember something. If a hospital sends a bill to an insurance company for $30,000, they are lucky to get 2,000. They are lucky to get 2,000 at 30,000 that they sent in. So hell, an immigrant going in there and you may not get $0. It ain't like you're getting a whole lot from the goddamn insurance company in the first place. They literally paid. They probably don't even pay that much now, but they literally was paying $8 for a panel. And I don't know if you know what a panel is. A panel is like your blood work, right? To run a complete panel to see what's going on with your blood. $8. $8. But if you go to the doctor and do a panel, it's at least $250. Doctor gonna charge you $250, but the insurance company gonna send them $8 for that same fucking panel. So cry me a river. I don't give a damn. I don't feel sorry for none of them. Because I feel like money is money, right? If you let the insurance company get away with sending you $2,000, why you can't let us get away with giving you $2,000 at $30,000 fucking surgery? Hello? Money is money. So I don't give a damn about the healthcare industry at all. You can go to hell if you want. We'll just hop our happy asses on plane, which I'm doing it with my daughter this year. We're hopping on planes and take our happy ass to Tijuana, Costa Rica, and get things that we need done and bring our ass back home. No problem.
So we shouldn't be outraged that we shouldn't get outraged like they trying to make us get about this healthcare stuff.
No. Again, why? Why would you? What's the purpose? What's the premise? What is it gonna do? What is it gonna do? Nobody is shutting hospital down. Greed shuts hospitals down. That's it. That's all. You can't even sue them motherfuckers when they fuck you over.
True.
Please, I wish I would feel sorry for any healthcare insurance, hospital. I don't feel sorry for none of them. I love Grady, and I'm considering adding Grady to y'all know I'm very philanthropic. I work with support, I should say. I don't do any volunteering, but I support financially the shelters. I'm all about having a roof over your head, whether you're buying it, renting it, or you need it, emergency wise. So every year I support the Atlanta mission, but I'm thinking about adding, God willing, Grady Hospital, because that's one place you can go and they don't give a damn. They don't care, and you're gonna get the best. If you go in there, I'll tell anybody, if you got an option, if you gotta go by helicopter, tell them take you to Grady. If you gotta go, life flight you to Grady. Ambulance, Grady. Now if you gotta walk in the door, Emory. But if you cannot drive yourself to the hospital, you have to be driven a flight there, go to Grady. You talking about scientists. Real deal scientists is there that know the human body, and they don't care about the money. They're not kicking you out that door in a few days. Thank you. Take your ass to Grady. Send your children to Grady, your grandma, whoever. I remember my aunt was at Piedmont, and I was getting some breakfast, and my cousin's girlfriend said, you better go see Auntie. She's gone. I said, she's too mean to die. She was like, no, seriously. And the hospital was right by the place I got my breakfast. And I said, let me go over here. I took my breakfast in because I was like, my aunt gonna be like, give me some of that breakfast. I went in there. My aunt was toe down. I don't even think she knew I was there. And I left that hospital screaming. I called my cousin. I was like, "You and your brother, where you at? I'm on the way. Get your mama the fuck. Get my aunt out of there now. Get her to Grady right the fuck now." Dad gave up on her at a regular hospital. She went to Grady. She left out of there. Next time I saw my aunt, she was doing exactly what I thought she was gonna do that day. She was telling me, "Go down there to the food court, give me some." So Grady, Grady the truth. They get a bad rep as far as time and all that because they are seeing anyone who don't have insurance, who don't have people walking in off the street getting service there. But they give the absolute. You get back there, you gonna be all right. Only God Himself can take you out. If you go to Grady, you weren't supposed to live. You die in Grady, it was your time. Period. So that's the way healthcare is supposed to be. It's supposed to be like it is at Grady. It's not supposed to be privatized, if you ask me. So I don't give a damn about the Piedmonts and all them. Fuck them. I really don't.
Thank you, Keith.
If I can avoid them, I'm going to avoid them. But if they're the closest thing, I'm going. But baby, the minute I get where I can say, shoot me to Grady real please, I'm going. Ambulance or whatever, get me to Grady. And Emory is good too, here in Georgia. But yeah, you want to get to a hospital that the money ain't they mission. And that's the problem. So when I see hospitals, especially private hospitals, they closing down, I say, fuck you. You didn't do it right anyway. You didn't do it right anyway. You don't deserve to still be open. So yeah, get in the healthcare field, surgical techs, respiratory, all these people. These are things, and I don't know if y'all paid attention. There's a goddamn dialysis clinic popping up more than 7-Elevens. Nobody paying attention to that?
I've been seeing that. I mean, people my age, I'm like 47, 48. And I've been seeing people been at those places, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on with all these dialysis places popping up? I've been noticing. I'm talking about even like the rural areas they've been popping up.
Dialysis clinics. If it's not a dollar store, it's a dialysis clinic when it's something new. Happy, thank you, Asia. Same to you, baby. Y'all ain't paying attention to that?
That many people got diabetes and need kidneys, transplants and all of that. I mean, is it
But
is it a month?
they make you believe that your kidneys can't regenerate. They can. They can.
You think it's a money grab?
Yeah, it is. But here's the bad part. And I gotta check the law. If they haven't changed the law, they will. Because again, these kidney clinics are popping up, and I don't know if y'all know this, but in order to get, like, if you are poor, you can get Medicaid in any state, right? Every state has their own individual Medicaid program, their health insurance, right? But the federal government has their health insurance, and that's called Medicare, correct? Well, there is one way, and only one way, for you to wind up on Medicare without being 65 years old. Do y'all know what that is?
Some kind of disability, right?
Only one. You can have stage 4 cancer. You still not going on Medicare.
What?
Yeah. Only way to be on Medicare and not be 65, not be old, is to have end-stage renal failure, to need dialysis.
And that's the majority of black people.
So that's why I said they either gonna change the law or something's gotta give, because that's an automatic check. That's an automatic, like, you don't have, like, for instance, you know how people be applying for their disability and they may take them 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and they finally approve them and then give them that big lump sum and all that little stuff. Once a doctor say you have end-stage renal failure, that you need dialysis, you are automatically getting a check the very next month. And from the day you call in and say they said renal failure, and you can send them that thing, they're gonna start that check that day. And when you get your check the next month, it's gonna have every day, including that month from the time you call. And that's the truth. You are automatically disabled when you have end-stage renal failure, and you are automatically getting a check. Ain't that I gotta have a doctor. They do. The Social Security Administration do not take you through none of that shit. You are automatically disabled if you have end-stage renal failure, automatically, and you get a check, and you get Medicare, not Medicaid.
And I be thinking sometimes like all this medication that we are on, like high blood pressure medication.
And they know it. It's everything. But the kidneys can regenerate themselves. They just the stuff they don't tell you. They can regenerate themselves.
They can?
Yeah, kidneys can regenerate themselves.
But how? Lifestyle change or something else?
That's the lifestyle change, but also, believe it or not, y'all would not believe the one thing that actually helps with regenerating kidneys. Corn
What?
silk.
Corn silk? From like corn and you grow in the fields and stuff, the silk.
Silk. If you dry it out, drink the tea, you will start back peeing and all that good stuff and regenerate. It helps to regenerate the kidney.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Okay, let me. I think I'm pretty healthy, but I don't. I'll go into it and try it.
Corn silk is one of those magical things in herbal medication, but Eastern medicine. Yeah, that's how it works over here. They have corn silk tea in the Asian market. Bingo! When's the last time you seen an Asian person at the dialysis clinic?
I actually saw a video today saying that Asian people are living up to 100 years old and healthy. So yeah. Oh, I can grow a piece. I can grow some corn stalk right here in the bucket by my house. So let me try that.
Your corn silk tea helps regenerate kidneys. And do.
Um, how
They
do
don't
you
tell
know?
you they're gonna give
How
you
do
a
you
check.
know all? Uh, how do you know all this stuff? What do? You like research all day, or you just?
I've always been a big research, like the Keyanna that y'all seen for the last year and some change. Before I met y'all, I stayed reading, watching stuff. Hey Tiff, how you doing, baby? That was because I'm a firm believer. Knowledge is power, and what you know belongs to you. So if you know me, you know that I am the type of person I like ownership, right? That's why I have a gazillion businesses. But the one thing that I was taught as a little girl by a man by the name of Clarence Price, he was over our usher board choir, Easter speeches and all that. And so when we would misbehave, he would give us the spiel about, getting a diploma, that's something they can't take from you. And that was his big thing. Like what you learn belongs to you, right? That's yours.
Education, your
Yeah,
education,
whatever it is you learn, whether whether you formally learned it or whether you learned it like tonight, you just learned something that may save you or your family member from being on dialysis one day. That belongs to you now. You sat in this lab and learned that from me. And so that's why I love to learn. I really, really, my mom laughed at me. She's like, oh my God, you can go back to school again. But I don't like traditional, I don't like 13th and 14th grade. I think that's stupid. Like when I've done that, I went to high school. Now, I pick a career, teach me my fucking career. So that's why I've always went to the schools where you instantly get your gratification. I don't have time to keep learning about world history. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Right? So why do I gotta learn it? I don't want to learn that shit no more. I did that for 13 years. So traditional education has never been my bag, but going to learn about a specific thing, I'll sign up for anything, and that's what I've done. And so because that belongs to me, once I learn it, it's mine. It can never be taken away. And it's up to me to what I want to do with that I've learned. Right? You're welcome, darling. You're welcome. So yeah, like I said, I used to spend my time just always learning something about the
So
human
you read
body.
a lot. Do you read a lot, kid?
I'm an avid reader. I haven't read much lately. Like you guys see me cutting up on this fucking app, but before, like I love a bookstore. Right, that's my favorite place the library when I was younger was my favorite place on planet Earth. when I got older, the Barnes and Noble and the Books a Million and all of them, you could catch me in them any day of the week. And I just go in and sit in the corner. Now Barnes and Noble done took the chairs out, but I used to just go sit in the corner and read. And some of the times most of the time I buy a book, at least one book, but I'm going to be in the corner sitting with 5 or 6 and I'm read a chapter here or there, da da da. But I just, whatever I feel like I want to learn, whatever interests me, because I believe it's my job, right, to make sure my family get the best health care. It's my job to know that me and my family has the best, mortgage, finance. Like that's I don't put me and my family's life in people's hands easily. Did that make sense? So when my daughter y'all know special needs and all that, I can't tell you how many times I told the doctor, okay, this is the treatment I want her to have. And they're like, how the fuck you know about it? Because I was reading. Like, we're going to do this together. You're not going to tell me what the hell you're going to do to my child.
I just want to say your daughter looked beautiful back there. I love her hair.
Thank you. I'm finna take it out and then I got this little new thing, but Tony said don't take them out. But no, I mean, that's just how I am. Like, if it concerns me and my family, I'm going to learn it. And I've been that way. Like when she was 8, before there was Google, before there was YouTube University and TikTok and all that, I literally would sit in the hospital in the mother's lounge or the family lounge, and I would read medical books and with comprehension, right? Same thing in the law. I used to read law books with comprehension. And I had many judges tell me, take your ass to law school. How are you reading this with comprehension? How do you know how to write a brief? How do you know how to, file a motion? I read up.
Yeah, you know that stuff is not easy, right?
To me, it do be easy because it's pertinent to me at this time. I just put on my Facebook page, my town is giving accolades to a wonderful judge by the name of Judge Samuel Osborne. And I put him on my page because that man, a lot of judges do not want you coming before them without a law license. They will actually get on your ass for doing it, but legally they're not supposed to. You're supposed to, the federal government says, federal law says you're supposed to treat a pro se with the same respect that you would treat someone with a law license, right? And that's what Judge Osborne would do, the Honorable Judge Osborne would do. He said, hey, if you can argue this case, argue it. And I never lost a case before him. Never once. Never once. Thank you, Tim. Never once. Judge Baker, never. Yeah. I would just read the books with comprehension. And then when I was very young, like when I first had a lawsuit at 17, a lawyer literally saw that I was smart. And when my money came through at 18, he was like, I've been looking for you. I've been having to turn down your offers because I can't find you. So they're thinking it's not enough. So they keep upping the ante. And so he sat me down and he gave me the formula for tort litigation as it relates to car accidents and things like that. Tort means civil. So he saw something in me that young and he was like, you know what? Let me sit down and explain this to you. He could have just handed me my check and said sign. But he saw that with the questions that I asked and the interest that I had, he literally was like, he was like, you don't never have to hire me again if you don't want to. Because I just gave you the formula. And that formula is how they work. It's the formula for any insurance company in the world. Don't let nobody fool you. They can run all those ads on the radio they want to. It's a formula. It is a formula. Point blank in the period. So
what do you see yourself doing in the next chapter of your life?
In the next chapter, pray to God. I love my biggest thing. Believe it or not, I like to see people win. I really do. So whatever I'm doing, it will be something where it's helping people win. I get a high off of that, right? Someone called me actually from TikTok the other night and they was like, do I do real estate or do I do mortgages? And I was like, what is your motivation? Because if money is your motivation, just get ready. You're either going to jail or you're going to be back working. You're going to get burned out because yes, the money is good, right? And yes, but if the motivation is not the people and changing lives for the better, you're going to cross the line. And matter of fact, you're going to get burned out because the people who you work the hardest for is usually going to be the ones that you probably don't even get a paycheck in the end. Or if you do, like, how y'all would see me last year when people are like, oh, Keyanna ain't making no money. I'd be like, all right, here's a check for $20,000. Here's a check for $10,000. Here's a check. Because I was too fucking tired to cash them sometimes, right? Because I've worked. And then also, as a real estate professional, most of the time, we're sitting at the closing table while their client is signing. We're triaging. Okay, so this client, okay, they can, as long as I do, okay, I'm gonna order their, okay, they could be next. I can get them closed, and okay, you're on to the next one. Y'all see us, smiling, hey, with the key and all that shit, baby. We are literally at that closing table. If you're worth your salt, right? You're at that closing table thinking like, who's next? Like, I gotta leave here and go and put out a fire if I'm not putting out a fire while I'm sitting there at the table. I'm also got to figure out who's the easiest, quickest to close next, and let me work on their deal when I get back to the office, right? Let me, but when I see families, especially children, and I tell y'all all the time, y'all think these kids want these damn tablets and these I've seen children tell their parents, Mom, I don't want that for Christmas, just get us a house. And they meant that shit. These babies meant it, right? I have never cashed a check. In all the years that I've been doing mortgages and insurance and real estate, I've never cashed a check that gave me the gratification that I get when I see a girl or a family tag me in a post and they're showing their children the house for the first time. Or we all go in the house together for the first time. Or a mother. I've had this happen, and she just recently died. I had a mother and a daughter buy a house together. The mother was elder, and the daughter was, probably, I think Clarissa's in her 30s or so. And the mother literally said, we went to the house after the closing. And when I tell you that closing was like, me and that attorney, we had to do that dance, baby. In the end, he wore a Black Lives Matter shirt to the closing table. I scared him up so damn bad.
What?
I can call Clarissa right now. She loves to tell that story. She let me film her too, so I got the film. But he was that fucking scared because I was on his ass about some of the unethical things he did. And so he wore a pink Black Lives Matter shirt to the club. But when we left her closing and we went back to her home, her mother said, nobody in my family ever owned nothing. Not my mother, not my grandmother, not my great-grandmother. No one has ever owned anything in my family. And she cried. And that lady died a homeowner. Last year, she owned her house with her daughter. And when Clarissa announced her passing, she tagged me and she said, you changed my mama's life. I have never cashed a check that gave me that type of feeling. And that's why I keep doing this. So if I ever hang up my hat and say I'm done with real estate, and trust me, I've had times where I got burned out in 2023 actually. But again, because this is a career and not a job, I just took some money, bought a house cash, got up every morning, was at the Home Depot and the Lowe's and all the different building supply stores, and they got to know me very well. And I rehabbed the whole house, right? Because I know I got a man in construction. I listen to him when we talk every day, all day. And plus, that's what I do. I look at appraisals and I look at inspection reports and I look at it. So I did a really, really bang up job when I needed a break from the monotony or the foolishness sometimes of real estate. Okay, no problem. Just go flip a house right quick.
I
So
saw some of the houses that you staged. You know, I've been following you for a while. You know, like a silent follower, and I saw where you have staged, and you're really good at staging, Kiana.
oh,
I want
no,
to
no, I'm
tell
not
you
talking about
that.
space. I took a house, right, and I gutted it. When you walked in the house, there was no front door, no back door, no windows, no roof, very few studs. You know, sheetrock. You could see the concrete foundation, and you could see some wood studs. But when you looked up, you saw God's sky. And when you looked down, you saw concrete. And when you looked around, you saw a shell. I literally, and my husband was like, "Why would you do that?" And I said, "I want to see what's behind the walls." He was like, you're eating into your budget." And I said, "I promise you, I'll be able to name my price when I'm done. Thank you, Tiff. I will make more money than I would have if I left these walls intact and didn't know what was behind them." And I made a fool out of him, and I did. I literally gutted that house to almost what you can damn near consider new construction. And I hired the roofing company, and I went and got the windows, and I went and found the door, and I went and got the sheetrock myself in batches because sheetrock is heavy as hell. So I could drive with all I had to have 100 boards, and I could only do 30 boards per truckload. So I'm driving, and then the guys is getting them all. I go back to the hardware store, get 30 more sheets, and I gave new electrical, every total wires, all of that. Granted, I went and bought the cabinets myself, piecing them together in the floor to see, all of that. Did all of that, the appliances, everything, the tower.
And you had fun doing all of that. You loved
That was
it.
the best. I was nervous because I was spending my money. I didn't get a loan. This was my money. So I was nervous, right? Because every day I'm writing a check, and then I have to give my contractors. I'm giving them $30,000, and so I was nervous because it was all on me, right? But it was so fulfilling. And then in the end, when I put it on the market, I only had 2 showings. Both, and then Tony wouldn't listen to me. I said, "Tony, I need you to grade my yard, and I need you to put sod out." He's like, "Man, as much as you did to this house, man, it's gonna sell like it." I was like, "Tone, if I gotta get them inside the house first." And first showing, the feedback I got was, "Love the house, the yard is the problem." He was like, he knew he was like, "Oh shit, she's gonna cuss me out." So he was like, "Babe, don't say that." He was like, because that's what I just got the feedback. He was like, "What was it?" I said, "They say they love the house, but the yard." He was like, "Say that tomorrow," because he knew I was finna spaz. "I'm ordering the side right now." I was like, "All right, great." So they put the side down. Second showing, this lady gave me, and I don't know if y'all remember, winter of 2023 was horrible. Interest rates were like 8%. The lady gave me full price. She did not ask for one dime in closing costs, not one. And we sold it. So I only had 2 showings. And then when she had an inspection, and I always tell my clients, when you get an inspection, I don't care if the house is brand new, they're not going to not find something. Like, they're getting $400 to be at your house for an hour, $400 or $500 to be there for an hour. They got to find something, otherwise, like, they robbed you. So her inspection was done by a big inspection firm, and they only found one thing, and it didn't fall on me. It was a gas leak outside. I called the city, "Hey, the gas leak." They were over there in 10 minutes, and the inspection people were still there by the time the city got there. The house passed with flying colors. I did a really, 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 and I remember the agent saying, "A woman did this." And I was like, "How do you know?" He was like, it's the attention to detail that we miss, the things that we don't do. So I really loved that, and it gave me an ability to make a shit ton of money, but I didn't have to worry about nobody's credit and nobody, round peg, square holes, and all that shit. And because my company is named Affordable Housing Developers, I was able to do a starter home, and it looks like once you walk inside, it looked like a luxury home because I did tile in all the bathrooms, granite
You turned the
countertops,
house into $1 million house.
a nice starter home into a very nice home. Very, very nice home. And even the front door, I wanted a $2,500 door to go on that house. And I was like, God, please, that's not budget friendly. I literally went to a builder supply store and found that door for $600. $2,500 door that I had dreamed of for that house. I literally got up and found it at a builder
What did
supply
it
store.
have? Like the special glass that they be using and
No,
stuff?
it was the way it was built. It's a retro door, so it was a door that you saw on homes in the late '70s, well, early in late '70s. And it had the little peephole and it had the bars through it.
Okay, yeah, I
So
know
it
what you're talking about.
it has come back in style. So it's like 25, and because I remember seeing them on actual homes when I was little, in affluent neighborhoods, by the way. So when I was like, oh, these doors are back in style, dang, you know. So I found it. I found it at a builder supply store, and I was able to get that door that I wanted. So it had everything nice from the front door to the paint, you know, the windows, everything was new.
You know, you
25.
can't find a house like you're talking about now. The houses now, they have no character. You
Right.
really don't want to put your money into something. I mean, I'm out looking for a house now because I sold my house last year. And I thought
Mhm.
it was going to be like an easy thing to go back out here and get another house, because I really did love my house that I sold. And I can't, I went back out here and the houses just don't have no character. We
They
need more
don't.
realtors like you that say, hey, let's put some character in the house. Let's
Well, the
not
problem
just,
is the developers because the way it works is most developers, right? Everything is about the bottom line. So when they clear the land, they like, you know how you used to have 4, 5, 10, 20 trees in your yard, right? They're not going to do that anymore because that land, they're going to buy that land. Let's say they bought the land for $1 million that they're going to put the subdivision. Well, if they get somebody to come through there and cut all those trees down, they're going to sell those trees to, we call them the pup yards, the pup yards. They're going to sell those trees and they may get $100,000-$200,000 of that $1 million back just from the trees. So that's why y'all are walking around here with no trees in y'all yard because they're using that tree to leverage, you know what I mean, to refund them for the monies they paying for the land. And then also because trees, the roots start to, you know, mess with the plumbing. So it's like a win-win. It's a win for the homeowner, it's a win for the builder. But also the builder will go out and pick plans that are easy to build and economical to build. And once they pick 3 of them, that's what they stick with because when they hire a framing crew, they know that framing crew knows how to, you know what I'm saying? So their whole thing is don't have 20 plans in this because the framing crews can't keep up. They don't know how to, you know what I mean? That's where mistakes come in. But if they're framing, they can do it with their eyes closed after the 5th house. So they come in, and that's why you got D.R. Hort all over the United States is building the exact same 5 plans because they make it, you know, once they hire a framing crew, that framing crew knows how to do it.
so easy.
Easy peasy cover girl. So that's the way it works. It's a machine. It's a machine.
So
So
that's why I'm not finding no house with no character. It's
right.
because they like,
Another, you go into new construction, it's almost to the point where you can turn in your neighbor's yard and think it's your damn yard. Because again, there's no trees to define the difference between your homes. They have those crazy ass, silly ass HOA rules that say you can't put any character in your yard yourself. And then they have their 3 plans, and sometimes they don't even change the elevation. Back when I started buying houses, the builder may have the same plan, but he wouldn't allow the same elevation, meaning the same outward look for every like 4 to 5 houses, right? So he built the Jackson plan, and then, you know, and how they also pick them by lots too. So he may build a Jackson, a Parkview, a Tina, and then he said, okay, now you can do another Jackson. But let's say that lot or somebody comes and say, I want to be on lot 2, and it's a Jackson next door. The builders back in the day would say, oh, no problem, but you got to go with elevation B or elevation C or D. They would give you like 4 different elevations to choose from, so they wouldn't look the exact same. when you ride down the street, builders now don't give a fuck. All those houses look the same. All of them have the same color. They don't care. They don't care. They buy one paint. They choose one paint color. That is the paint color is agreeable gray. If agreeable gray is the number one paint color in America, by Sherwin-Williams, and all the builders and the rehabbers too use it, and they paint the entire house agreeable gray. Next, agreeable gray, agreeable gray. So it
Now
saves them.
I love your house. Your house has character.
Thank you, and that's why
So
I've been here so long.
so your house now, like I love the background that you're showing now with the glass up there, the high ceilings and everything like that. I love your house. So
My
your
house
house,
looked nothing like this when I bought it.
huh?
No. My house looked nothing like this when I bought it.
Oh, you
Nothing.
redid your whole house?
Absolutely. Hey, darling. Hey, Solid Angel. Yeah, heartbreaking when she doxed me last year. She showed my house, and I was laughing because I was like, my house don't look like that. That was the people who owned this house prior to me. That's how their house looked. My house don't look like that. No, I rehabbed my house. We good at this house, too. We got at this house in 2019. I'm sorry, 2019, 2020. We gutted it, then we paid it off.
It's
Straight to
beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, that herringbone. Let me tell y'all, if you ever get a tile person, make sure you guys have it in writing what you're getting, because my bathroom was the last. When I do decorating, remodel, whatever I do, me is last. I like to start with kids' rooms. I love to decorate kids' rooms. That's my forte. I can decorate the hell out of a kid's room. So when I started doing my house, I did the other bathrooms, the three other bathrooms first, and my kitchen. And I left mine to be the last. But I remember when I talked to my tile guy, I said, hey, if I go with a different pattern, he was like, no. He's like, what type of, I said, I want herringbone. And he was like, no, it's not gonna be a problem. Okay, great. I waited about, because we went over craziness with these damn
Yeah,
cabinets.
show us herringbone. What do you mean when you say
Oh, the
herringbone?
herringbone. It's a print.
Yes.
It's a design. Hold on, I got these things here. So he tried to upcharge me, and I was like, "Oh hell no!" And then Tony was like, "Fine, I'll pay for it now. Just let it go." I was like, "Whatever." This is a herringbone print right here.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
Is it
that's
easy
it.
to clean? It's yours looks so clean. Is it easy to clean?
Tony cleans this. I don't clean this. He
Oh,
gets
okay.
on.
It looks good.
But no, this is called a herringbone pattern, like a herringbone chain.
Okay,
And
yes,
you do
okay.
waste, yeah, you do waste a lot of tile and it's a lot of cut. But he told me when we first hired his happy ass that he wasn't gonna upcharge us for this herringbone print. And then because this was the last bathroom, so this was the last of the job that he was gonna do, then he wanted to go, oh, it's gonna be more money for the herringbone print. And I was like, well, fuck it, do brick, lay it like brick. And Tony was like, no, nah, you want herringbone. I know you're gonna be miserable. So I'll just pay it. And I was like, all right. I just wasn't gonna pay it because your word is your bond. And so yeah, so make sure if you're gonna be doing different patterns, get it in writing when you get your quote, because they will try to upcharge it when you change the tile pattern. But brick is you know how it goes. You have one like this. This is a brick pattern right here. You have two things, and then you have one here, and it keeps going that same pattern, right? So that's called a brick pattern. And that shouldn't be an upcharge because that's the normal pattern. But when you go to doing a bunch of cuts, that's when they want to upcharge.
So
But
when
yeah,
are you gonna give us a house tour without showing us the
I've
layout?
given a house. I've given y'all a house tour 100 times. I gave y'all a house tour when Nietzsche was talking bad about my house last year. I gave y'all an impromptu house tour one morning because I woke up and it was on the blogs that something was wrong with my house. And I went from the attic all the way to the basement to outside. And I was like, what the fuck is she talking about? So I gave
You
everybody a
did
house.
that. That was a mad house tour, and we was like, "Oh my goodness!" Like she just rushed through that. We want like a one that you could say, "Okay,
Okay, well, here's the thing. I truly can't give you a house tour right now because I have overtaken 2 bedrooms over there, and they have clothes everywhere. Like I literally got to get rid of so many clothes. It's ridiculous. So when I do, and I started this morning trying to triage what I'm gonna get rid of and what I'm gonna keep, and so when I finish, I'm thinking about redoing those rooms, and I think I'm gonna take them back to like teens. I'm gonna decorate them into like a teen bedroom. Right now, the boys' room is in a toddler or young adult, the pottery born uh, nautical thing. And then the other room, which was my daughter's room, it's in like a guest room. It's a mauve color. So I'm
Hey,
thinking about do
you gotta do
teen.
you a content room, Keyanna. Where's your
No,
content room?
I don't have the space. You would think as big as this house is that it would have room for all. It's just it's not as big as it seems. At least not for me anyway. But I love this builder by the name of John Whelan. John gives extremely small bedrooms for the kids. They're not supposed to stay forever anyway. But he gives extremely big bathrooms for the owner and big bedrooms for the owner and a big kitchen. That's his stamp, his signature. Big owner suites, big kitchens. The rest of the house is really not that big. Even if he give you a lot of house, he's not gonna make the other rooms like big. My office is a decent size. I would love a bigger dining room. But if I don't get a bedroom this size, and we've looked at homes up to almost $1 million, and I haven't found very many that the bathroom is this big, because my bathroom goes all the way around over there. So I haven't found many that has a bathroom this big, and not very many have a bedroom as big as mine. But the houses that we find have bigger bedrooms for the kids. So it's a kind of a trade off, but that's why we're still.
I'm more of a kitchen and bathroom person.
Yeah, me too. I
So
like
if the
get.
kitchen look good and the bathrooms look good, I would be able to do smaller rooms, bedrooms and stuff for that.
Yeah, I tell when I was rehabbing, I put a fireplace in that house. And my contractor was like, "What?" I was like, "I need you to build me a fireplace wall." And he was like, "Okay." And I ordered the fireplace off of Amazon, the electric fireplace, and he was like, "Can you show me what it is that you want?" I wanted him to build it from the ground, I mean, from the ceiling all the way to the floor.
I've been seeing a lot of that.
Yeah,
They
they
go all
built
the way up
that
to the
two
ceiling
sides.
with the fireplace.
Right. Well, when I got back, and we had a big piece of wood that was supposed to go change because I wanted to change the elevation of the front of that house, and it didn't work. My vision did not work. So we had this big ass piece of wood that was like it was a square rectangle long piece, and was like, "What we're gonna do with this damn piece of wood? I done paid for it. You can't take it back." And when I got back, he had made me a fireplace, and he used that piece of wood for the mantle. And I was like, "Okay, I'll rock with this." Just okay. He was like, "Was that what you wanted?" And I was like, "Not really, but we'll keep it." I just, so, but it wound up like it was so nice in there, adding a fireplace. And I remember the family that sold me that house, they wouldn't even go back in there because it was so raggedy that the daughter said, "I don't go in that house." I literally told when she got her dad, she wouldn't let him bring any clothes. She stopped and got him new clothes. Like he had been living in complete debauchery. And so she sold it to me, and I said, "I want you to see this house. I want you to see what I did with it." And she couldn't believe. She said, "Oh my God, I couldn't." She said, "I would have never in a million years saw that this could be a possibility." And I said, "Well, I tried to tell you." I was like, "You sure you want to sell it? Like, he owned it. I think he owned it outright. Yeah, he owned it outright." So I was like, "You can take money out and rehab it, and I'll do the rehab for you." And she was like, "Nope, we just want to sell it and move on." I was like, "Okay, I'll buy it." And
And you fixed it up, and they probably wanted to buy it back after you fixed it up.
she did. She was like, "Oh my God, we need to get it back." I said, "Hey, it's for sale." And she was like, "Yeah." But she's like, "I don't know about that price right there." I said, That's what it's gonna sell for, and I know it's gonna praise for that. But yeah, she really was. I really wanted her to see that I did right with the property. That was my biggest thing. That I didn't take something that her father worked hard for and squandered.
So, Key,
That was
how
my
old
biggest
were you?
thing.
How old were you when you realized that that was your thing? Like, oh, I am good at this right here. So,
Houses?
yes, like flipping houses, refurbishing houses. I don't know. I know
Oh,
it's another term. How old were you
well,
when you
I
just?
didn't know that. Y'all blame Tony for that. I didn't. I mean, the deal was I was going to be the project manager because I'm great at project managing. I'm bossy and I'm organized as far as that's concerned. Like on detail. I'm not an organized person at home, but I'm organized on doing stuff. So I was gonna be the project manager, and I was like, Tony, you and the crew do the work, and I'm just gonna be able to tell y'all what this is what I need to have by this date, this date, this date, because I know what date I want to list it. Well, Tony going back and forth with his foolishness. The contractor said, I can't work with y'all, I quit. Which kind of what happened on this house here. We had tile people quit on us because they were just like,
What?
man, Tony would come in and oh my God, he was horrible. He's bossy and I'm bossy. He's a Leo. And it was so crazy because again, I'm I'm hard charging on what I know, but what I don't know, I'm kind of easy going, right? Tony knows construction. So if the people like the tile guy, he tiled Tyrisha's bathroom. And it was cool with me, right? Tony comes home. Buddy, the guy was named Buddy. Buddy, what the hell, man?
He found
Like
all his mistakes.
every last this, and the man was like, I quit. Um, it was like that's just how he is. So these contractors was like, I can't. First day of work, I was like, no, hey, I went off. I was like, no, I will be there. You need to be at my job site at 7 a.m. I will be there with the dumpster for you guys to start demolition. Right? We have a schedule. Day 1 and 2 is demolition. They got demolition done in one day. Shocked the shit out of me. Great. We can move on to the next thing. So I found that I was great, really, really great at project management because really building a house is more about being a project manager than it is anything. I do need y'all to know that. If you are great at being a project manager, build your house because that's all it is making sure everybody stays on task and do what they're supposed to do.
Make sure you stay on task and stay within the budget
Yeah.
too, and meet
Oh
those
yeah,
suspense dates.
well, here's the thing. We already had a budget, and that was my biggest thing. We don't deviate from this budget. Like we're gutting this, so there should be no surprises. You feel what I'm saying? That was another thing. Like when you don't gut a house up, I watched enough HGTV to know that. Oh, we gutted it from day one, so we knew what we was working with day one. Right. And so that's where, to me, Tony was like, don't gut it. And I was like, yeah, because I had watched enough HGTV to know that. Plus, I wanted to know what's behind my walls and I wanted to give a good product. And that
Keyanna,
it
when
was
you say you want to know what's behind the wall, you want it to be like, is mold behind there? Is
exactly that.
if plumbing is bad, that kind of
All,
stuff.
all of that.
Okay.
All of that. The wires are no good. All of that stuff. And we knew day one. So my contractor got exactly what was on his bid sheet. We did not have any changes to the bid sheet. So at first house we flipped and sold. Second house we had to gut the whole house. Is this and gutter that it'll save you in the end. Just gutter. So yeah, I wound up being the project manager, and my job I knew what was, and me and the contractor, we stayed in great, like, okay, demolition. And I'm like, all right, I got to pay you. And I remember there were times when, he would finish like the electrical or whatever. I'm like, hey, I got to pay you. He's like, no, I'll see you Monday. I'm like, no, the deal was once you do XYZ, you get a check, you get a draw. And because I'm not at the job, I'm out, getting things. That doesn't mean. So I would have to meet him, I would zell him and all that good stuff because my word is my bond and you get paid, the way. And I remember him saying, I'll work for you anytime. I'll work for you. Anybody chase me down and give me my money, I'll work for you anytime. And so I wound up, like I said, I learned to be a project manager and I also learned a lot about construction. And also, like I have now, contracts. I have roofing. I can get roofing shingles for the exact same that Lowe's can get them for. I can get, wholesale. I got wholesale ability to buy building materials wholesale. So that's the type of stuff that I wound up learning from that. But what I knew about staging and decorating, high school, growing up in the hood, wanting better.
High school, Keyanna.
I used to skip school to go look at houses. You talking about people skipping school to go have sex, skipping schools to go drink, skipping school to go smoke? None of the above. I didn't do none. I went skip school to go look at new construction houses. I kid you not. I kid you not. And that's why
Wow.
we wound up buying a house right after, not a couple of years after I left high school. We were looking for homes within 18 months of me graduating
That's
from high school.
amazing, Keyanna. I always looked at you. I always knew that. I was like, it's something so much more to her. I know messy TikTok is not going to give you your numbers tonight. And I'm about to drop so they can come on in.
No, I'm
But,
not. I don't do mess. I only did. I told you I only did mess because of that triggering mess that this person,
but
this
you
person.
you give off something that I don't know what it is, but it's just something about you that gives off like, I know it's a lot of stuff out there about you and everything, but I think that people have to really sit down, get in your
Not
room
everybody.
and just listen to you.
That's what people don't understand. No, not everybody. Like I have Tiff K's in here, Danny. All of them say the Keyanna that they know is not the Keyanna we know, and I said they don't deserve to know that Keyanna. Nobody deserves to know the version of me that will go to bat for you like nobody's business, that will hop on an airplane and come and do whatever I got. They don't deserve that version of me. Messy, I'm growing to love what I see on Messy Top, but I also had a hatred for Messy Top, right? Because of the stuff that I like today. It triggered me today because I'm watching, and like I said, no shade to Heartbreaker, but I'm watching Heartbreaker call, this police department, that police, this and that, which she should because she's being attacked. But when I did it, it was a big deal. And that it's the, what I mean, it's the who. And I don't like stuff like that. It should be across the board. What's right is right. My aunt taught me right don't wrong nobody. You know what I'm saying? So if it's right for her, and I do agree that it was right for her, but it was also right for me because I was also getting death threats. And
It was.
the day that I did it was the day I got my first death threat. So of course I panicked and decided to see if this is real. But we're almost a month in now, and I guess everybody's just like, we don't give a fuck. Anybody can call. We want the tea, and that's just so not cool. So I blame the audience.
It's not cool at all because, I've been seeing a lot of things too, and then, I can't, in the back of my mind I'd be like, I wish they really knew the key that
They don't
kind
need
of,
to.
I've been
Let
following
them
you for about
believe
a year or
whatever.
two.
You gotta let them believe whatever. I don't fight for no one to. Oh, is she a good person? Is she a bad person? I don't give a fuck. I really, if you want to know what causes me to lose sleep at night, you want to know?
Yes, I do.
If you do me right and I feel I did you wrong in return, I can't sleep till I make it right. I don't give a damn about nobody that's done me wrong and I do them wrong, girl. I don't give a fuck. Up to and including if they die. Fuck, I care. But if I do someone wrong that has done me right, I can't sleep. And I mean that with my soul. I can't sleep. It bothers the shit out of me because it's not right. And I do my best to try to make it right. But when I feel I've done someone right and they do me wrong in return, I don't care what happens to them and I'm going to sleep good. And I don't need everybody in this world to be like, oh, well, she's a bad person because she responded this way or I don't give a shit about that. I really don't give a shit about that. That's on them. Stans become fans, and baby, I have seen, let me tell you, fans become stans, and I have, in my life, I can't tell you how many of my stans became my fans. And I promise you that I've had more money put in my pocket by people who used to despise me. Because
Keyanna, do you think it's despise or that or miss let me see how I want to say this.
Based upon what they felt or they believed, they despised me. And then later they went, oh shit, I had this wrong. And then they had that guilt, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it's more
They
is.
had
Yeah.
that guilt of, oh shit, I fucked up. And they'll either send me clients or they'll be my client or they'll, I've had many of my stands become a fan. And I just laugh about it because I'm like, I'm not going to go out my way to show you that I'm XYZ. Believe what the fuck you want to believe. I don't care. But when you find out that I'm an extremely decent human being, treat me accordingly and I'll treat you. So
that's what's kind of bothering. I ain't gonna say it's bothering.
The world thinks good night, baby. The world thinks that I said some extremely horrible things. It's so crazy. I got two cousins, right? And that's why I'm so masculine, if you will, because I grew up in between them. Like one of my birthday was last week before, whatever. And I got a cousin whose birthday is about
Happy belated birthday, Keyanna.
Thank you. And I got a cousin whose birthday is like 2.5 weeks. And then my other cousin on the other side, his birthday was 2 months. So we're the three amigos and our parents are siblings. And so all of us was coming, within months of each other. And it's two boys and I'm in the middle, I'm the girl. So one in October, one in December, which is me, and then one in January. They called me tonight. He was like, hey cuz, what's going on? And I was like, I thought you knew. He was like, nah, man. I was like, who told you? He was like, your cousin. I'm like, who? And then my cousin was like, me, girl, that shit all over the internet, da, 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 da. And I was like, all right, y'all want to hear the story? They was like, yeah. And I said, well, okay. And they was like, well, one thing we know, you don't start with people first. Nobody realized that when they fuck with you, you don't care. They have really fucked up once they met. I said, that's exactly what happened here. So y'all want me to tell the story? No, they was like, yeah, we want to hear the story, but we already know for it to get this bad where you all over the internet, that person fucked with you first. We know you. And they do. We're born within months of each other. And that's just how and they're the same way. They're actually the same way. They are cool, calm, collected guys until you piss them off. And you must start with them first and then all hate.
And you know what, Keyanna? I think it's a lot of us that are from the South that are like that.
Yeah, we don't really start stuff.
We don't start stuff. We're all about uplifting, having a good time. We even like a family kind of people.
Yeah, I'm very feed you.
Yes.
I gotta feed you. I just, you're always welcome to some food at my house, even if, when I cook, that's just what I do. I'm very, big on that. I'm very big on when you come to me. If I invite you to my home, you're welcome here because this is my place, and everybody ain't welcome. But once you get here, whatever it is you want that's in here, as long as it ain't this diamond ring or that man or my child or my cat, you can pretty much have it.
But we also have that wall up. Like we're not gonna let nobody run over us,
Not in this nigga.
misuse us, talk down about us, or try to make us feel less than. And
Correct.
sometimes that comes off a little harsh. And people think, "Oh, look, they don't have any feelings. Look at them. They're not the right kind of people." But you really have to understand why they're acting like they are, because people disappoint you sometimes when you let down that guard. And sometimes you don't only want to let down that guard with people who you love and trust.
But I have rules to my life, though. One of my rules to my life is you teach people how to treat you, right? So if I accept disrespect, that's what I'm going to get, right? Not a lot of people. I tell people this all the time. I wasn't raised to make people like me. I was raised to make people or show them that they should respect me. Whether you respect me as a real estate professional, whether you respect me as a wife and mother, whether you respect me as a southern chick who don't take no shit, whatever it is, it's some avenue or something about me that you're going to respect. You may not respect how I conduct myself on Messy Talk, but in the same breath, and I get this a lot. She crazy, but that bitch smart. She crazy, but that motherfucker know her shit. She's crazy, but she's a fantastic, real estate professional. I get that a lot, and guess what? I laugh because I'm like, they're telling the truth. Shit, you know what I mean? Make sure you put that on now. I'm gonna need you to put that on now. But she do her shit. She knows she's great at real estate, or she's, saying she's a great cook. You're gonna respect me in some avenue of my life. And that's because I constantly work on me, right? But I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. So my personality on I'm a clap back, that's not, some people want you, literally, y'all may not believe this. There are people who walk the earth thinking, I should be able to say whatever the fuck I want to say to you, and you should not say anything back. You should just be able to.
And that's not right. It's not right.
It'll never work in my book. You always hate me. You always hate me. So that's just the way it's going to work. But like I said, that same person who may say, you can't say nothing to Keyanna without her snapping, that same person, whether they will own up to it or not, is going to say, but that bitch is smart. Or, I got that my whole life. They would say, she's XYZ, but that bitch is, but she's smart. Or she's this, what I'm saying? They would always talk about the this part of me, the part of me that loves to teach, the part of me that's resourceful, that know my stuff, da da da. But my attitude, my demeanor, and how I respond to how people treat me is not always, hey darling, is not always what people like. And that's fine. They got to live with that, because in my mind, I know, because you are breathing, that's all you need in my book. I don't need you to have not one degree. Thank you, sweetie. I don't need you to have not one career. I don't need you to have not one Mercedes. I don't need you to have not one luxury home, or I just need you to be breathing. And in my book, you deserve my respect. That's it. Afterwards, you can lose it. But because you're breathing, you automatically have garnered my respect. That's it. That's all. That's it. Now, again, what you do after you take your breath, that's going to say if you keep my respect. That's how I live my life. Just breathe. Some people, in order for them to respect you, oh, you got to be this and you got to be that. You got to go to church, or I don't need none of that. That's all I need you to inhale, exhale, and I respect you. So when I go off on people, I already know they earned that shit, because again, I'm not going off on them because they're this or they're that, because I respect everybody who's breathing. Everybody. Even if you're on a ventilator, and the ventilators, listen, it's 99%. My daughter's ventilator used to do 99% for her. She was only breathing 1% for herself. Even that person gets my full respect. Now, when you use that breath to talk shit to me, you gonna get this work. Now, if this work requires that you feel like you don't want to see tomorrow, maybe you should have thought about that. Remember me.
Okay, Keyanna.
I said what I said. I said what I said because I know I'm not gonna automatically say some fucked up shit to a person.
I know, and you know what? For me, following you for about 2 years, I want to say, yeah, about 2 years. I think I start following you a little bit out there. You start following Trip and all that other stuff. And after following you from that time, I can say you honestly are being truthful about what you're saying. Because
I'm not gonna
you actually started off fighting the bullies really on TikTok.
remember. I have a whole email
Yes.
called bullied on TikTok at Gmail. That email still works and send me emails right now. I literally like that's why they were like the feds coming. I'm like, well, baby, the feds gonna have a good time because
Because once
baby,
they
it
start
started
digging, they're
off
gonna really see what it's about. And then I
exactly.
think people, at the end of the day, people really need to
I'm
look at,
probably the
you
only
know,
person who literally you know what I mean, last year in February, March was sending a news anchor, a news
yes,
reporter, messy talk footage. It's like you
yes.
can't believe what the fuck going on over here. That was me doing that.
That was you doing that. You was like, I remember you saying, like, when everything was going off, you was like, people wouldn't believe
What happens over here?
the what happens, how they have the buy into this and oh, drop this and drop that. You was like, it would be a documentary made
It's
one
still
day.
happening. We still gonna get a documentary, especially the way this shit keep going. It's gonna definitely get a documentary. But we
But
will still get a documentary.
I want your part to be told truthfully though.
I do too. I do too. And that's what I said. I'm like, I have the footage. I thank all of you who sent me stuff. I have the footage and I'm just waiting on people to put it out wrong because when the lawsuits get to running, they gonna run because you guys are sitting here saying I bullied someone who I literally asked their mother to tell them to stop bullying me a year ago. To no avail. You guys say I bullied someone who I blocked.
And I want
And
people to know that we all were online with Rizzy when Keyanna started her show. All of us was in there together. I mean, when Diamond, we were doing the little messy TikTok Diamond stuff, and Rizzy was there with us. And I remember you uplifting Rizzy, telling her, you're better than, almost telling her, you're better than these people on messy TikTok. What are you doing?
here, what are you doing?
Yes,
What are
I
you doing
remember
here?
that.
What you
You
telling
did
it to
that.
be over there? What are you doing here?
Yes, I
That
remember
was
that.
me.
That
I was
was
like,
you,
next time
Keyanna.
you come with it. That
That
was me
was
telling
you.
her that.
That was you doing that. And I hate that people are trying to wipe out all of that, because I know I hear you hear a lot of people are like, that doesn't matter. It matters what was said and this and that. And it was like, wait
Well,
a minute.
but here's the thing. This is how life works, right? What is one of those rules in the book that seems to always come true in the Bible? Judge not lest you be judged. That happens all the time. How many times have you been like, oh, you pregnant? Next, golly. You know what I mean?
I'm
It
pregnant.
happens all the time. So I'm only sitting back watching these people. Matter of fact, I put it on my page tonight. Falsely accuse me of stuff. Then somebody's gonna falsely accuse them of stuff, and they stuff may be way bigger. They may not have any type of proof to say, hey, or anybody even like yourself, and thank you, that can say, well, I recall you uplifting this person, pouring into this person. Now, how did we get here is a horse of another color. But I recall, blah blah. Some of y'all are gonna be out here saying this shit, and it's gonna be a knife in your hand, and blood is gonna be dripping from it. You're not gonna. You know what I mean? Like, leave people alone before someone accuse you of something you didn't do. And you're like, I know I didn't do that. But in the minds of the people, they're going to swear. And I meant that euphemism. And like, they're going to swear you got a knife in your hand with blood because they're going to swear you're that guilty. Where, that's on y'all remember the shows where the killer would have the blood and like, oh, you're the guilty one. But is gonna look that bad for some of these people on this earth that's over here blaming folks for stuff. They're gonna be like, y'all can't see I didn't do this, and you just gotta be careful when you put that on people. You know what I mean? You gotta be careful when you put that on people.
And I know I'm not right by saying, "Oh, this is just messy TikTok," because right now what I'm seeing is it's going beyond messy TikTok now. It's
I
like,
mean, believe it or not, I had a hatred for TikTok, messy talk, I should say. I had a hatred after what went on earlier, like in 2025. I had a complete and utter hatred for this side of the app. And I would say in the last 60, 90 days, I feel different.
you
In
feel
some way.
different, Keyanna?
Yeah. I see, yeah, Messy Talk could have literally did the right thing with Rizzy's death and just said, hey, you guys, let's have a quorum and let's talk and see how we can change and also memorialize Rizzy. But that ain't messy talk. They did the wrong thing and started doing that messy talk dance and blaming everybody and the fights and the exposing. That's what we do over here, right? So it was business
True.
as usual. If you really realize what they did with Rizzy's death was literally business as usual per messy talk
It was because
guidelines.
we've been through other deaths and it's been the same, like you said.
What do we do over here every day? We argue, we blame, we point finger, and we expose. Right? That's what happened with Rizzy's death. The minute they was told she's dead, the first thing was point a finger, blame, argue, and expose. That's what they did. It was business as usual, right? And it just blew up, and now the world knows about it.
But what I didn't like about it is how they took it out of messy TikTok and exposed I didn't like the way.
But that's the thing. You can't contain that. You can't. We've been over here exposing each other, right? And now we're being exposed on a larger scale. That's our fault. We played that game, and I say we, inclusive of me. Y'all know, 2024. I was expose your ass. Mess with me if you want to. I have your shit up there. Oh, I heard you ain't been paying. Y'all know that was my game. I didn't do it in 2025. I learned my lesson. That's why a lot of people now like, why Keyanna ain't called her private investigator? I have enough, without even calling a private investigator. I have enough clips that that literally some of y'all some of the people who don't know Rizzy would have been like, oh, ooh. But I didn't. I didn't put it up. It will
Because
stay where it needs to stay until it's needed.
right, what does it matter right now?
It
I
doesn't matter.
mean,
Exactly.
and then I think the what's hurting me the most is, I'm not really messy TikTok, but I'm one of the comment cousins. I'm one of the
I'm
listeners and
messy
stuff.
TikTok, and I'm not going to say anything else. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to say I'm messy TikTok. Because in my real life, I don't conduct myself like this. The way I
Yes.
conduct myself is only appropriate for here. So I would be a damn fool to sit up, and that's why some of y'all really sound crazy. Like, I ain't messy talk. So you mean to tell me that
Did I
fucking
say
loop
that,
of
Kim?
crazy
Did I
is
say I
running
went
around?
messy TikTok?
I'm not even talking about you. I'm talking about some of
Okay.
these content creators
Okay.
who be out
Okay.
here saying, I'm not messy talk. Then you look like a fucking fool because you're saying the way I conduct myself is appropriate in my real life and appropriate everywhere. No. The Keyanna y'all know ain't appropriate no fucking where but messy talk. You would never get this Keyanna other
This
places.
is
Hell
true.
no.
This is true,
So
Keyanna.
I'm messy talk, baby. So the what who you know is messy talk, and it's appropriate over here.
I think the thing that's getting me is like I wanted to stay in messy TikTok. I don't want it to go all the lies, all the
Make it fun.
fabrication of making people seem like they're just this evil person outside of messy TikTok. I think that's what got me when I start seeing everything unfold. It was like, wait a minute, what are you guys doing? It was like, wait, we all know that yeah, Keyanna is messy, just like the rest of everybody, but to take this thing to be like she's a villain, like she's a monster, is crazy. We all
Exactly.
was monsters inside of messy TikTok, even the comment cousins. So it's kind of like, what do I do? And then what can we do being a part of it, but trying to defend it is almost like we can't.
I
You know
mean,
what I mean? Do you kind of understand what I'm saying?
I look at it totally different because, like, for instance, when I did my live this morning, someone came in, murderer, you killed her. Oh, okay. Like, again, that's your energy. You're putting false claims on me. You shall walk in those shoes. That's how that works. So I get a kick out of it. I know the truth. I know the truth.
They weren't there when Rizzy was there with us,
But
and
I mean that's the thing. That shows more about them than it does about us. Correct? Right? We know the truth. But
right.
are you out there calling someone something that is one of the worst things you can be? You know, PD3 and a murderer and a thief. Those are the top three right there. An adulterer, but they're your top three of the worst things that you can be looked as being. They're saying that I'm one of them. Well, I know the truth. So now they gotta live in that. They have to live one day going, damn, somebody thinks I'm XYZ, and they may remember me and they may not. But I do know that's just how that works. And I get pleasure in knowing that every person who says I should die or go to jail or this or that and third, they will have to deal with that. Whether
So
and I
it's up.
usually get a
You
front row
you you
seat.
kind of you kind of looking at it like a karma thing. Like I may see your karma and I may not.
Yeah, yeah. I usually get a front row seat. I don't. It's just been one of those things where somehow or another I find out what happened to my enemy. It just sometimes I see it. Sometimes I hear about it, but I usually know. Sometimes they've asked me for my. They've had to own up and say, "Hey, I apologize. I misstepped here. I need you to forgive me." It has come in several different ways, but I do know that it comes back. So that's why when I have my head on straight, because I am human, right? So sometimes you just catch me at a bad time, and it may affect me. But when my head is on straight, um, it don't affect me because I know, like, oh well, get ready to walk in those shoes. Because I don't, I know I'm not. I know I didn't say something to just the average Joe. Did I say something to my enemy that they probably, evaluated their life and was like, damn, yeah, yep.
And the part that's getting me is how they are out there twisting your words into something so degrading. Um, that it's like, wait a minute. How do you turn a clip? We used to sit in lives for hours, but they would take something that lasted, for instance, you know, when Rizzy fell out with Dime and all of them, and it went into a commotion, they would take those little 5-10 minutes and turn it into something so degrading. I think that's what's kind of hurting to me. I mean, like discouraging to me most of all.
I saw a clip the other day, and I mentioned it before, but I saw a clip recently. And in that clip, I was standing right here in front of this mirror, and me and Rizzy were arguing. Not like talking to each other, but I think she was in the comments and I was in the panel, or vice versa. It was on Heartbreakers Live, right? And I said, and that's why you are a predator. And they clipped it right there. I called her a predator. And I remember thinking when I was like, damn, because I don't usually put false, you know what I mean, on somebody. Because again, I know the ramifications of that. And when I went and found the full clip, in that clip, I said, you are a predator. I said, no, you're not. I don't believe in putting a false narrative or something. I said, I'm not even going to say you're a predator, but you are, I said, you are aggressive or something I said. And I remember thinking that like, wow, they clipped that up for me. But here's the thing, the way life works, they got to deal with that because they had a full intention. They clipped it to say, let's make Keyanna guilty. So
Yes.
hopefully someone will either harm Keyanna, Keyanna will go to jail,
Mm-hmm.
Keyanna will lose business, whatever their intention that they created in their mind
Mm-hmm.
for it to happen to me, that has to now happen to them. And it never comes back equal, it comes back harder. And I get pleasure and joy in knowing that whoever clipped that tape like that will suffer. I
Yeah.
get pleasure in that shit.
Yeah, and
You
another
know?
thing I wanted to talk to you about, Kiana, is the company, and I know this is just TikTok, but the company you keep around you, the people that you keep around you, I want you to know that, sometimes um I know you sit on panels, and I love when you sit on different panels and around different people and stuff, but sometimes I feel like as one of your, I ain't gonna say I'm like a big supporter, like I don't spend a lot of money. I've
I don't do money. Y'all know that.
you
It's
know,
never
because you
been about
started
money.
out like it didn't matter. You the one taught us like, why y'all giving TikTok y'all money? TikTok takes 70% of whatever you make. Stop doing that. You taught us that. You started us off with that ground of that. So, we donated.
I got heat for that,
Yeah,
remember?
you did. You did. And
I
then
was over here fucking with these people money, and that's how I
yes.
started becoming the villain. So before the
Yes.
cutouts, I was educating you guys on why are you giving another human being who has less than you your money? Like that makes no sense.
Yes.
These people are supposed to be
Yes.
influencers. How the fuck are they influencing y'all? Y'all houses are bigger than theirs. Y'all education is more than theirs. Y'all are more in shape than they are. Y'all are more beautiful than they are. Y'all are more, you know what I mean? What the fuck is you giving these people your money for? And that's how so let's call a thing here.
Yes.
Keanu didn't become the
Rizzy was
villain by
there.
cussing people out, calling
Yes.
them names. I became the villain because I was like, why are you guys giving your
Yep.
hard-earned money to
Sure
people who
did.
have not done or accomplished half of what y'all have accomplished
You
in this life?
were. Yes. That was
Let's
your
call
thing.
a thing here. Who remembers that?
I
Who
remember that.
remembers why Keanu became the villain at first?
I
Because
remember
Keanu
that.
wasn't calling people ugly bitches at first. That
Yeah.
ain't how that started.
Nope. It did not. It absolutely did not. And then when
That's
I hear
not
people,
how it started.
and when I hear people saying it was all about the money, it's all about the money with them. And I'm like, actually it wasn't. If you
It
talking
was,
about
but not
if
with
you
me.
talking
But it
about
was. That's how I
Kiana,
became the first villain. Yeah.
if you talking about Kiana, no, that wasn't what she was about. She actually educated us on telling us like, what are you guys doing? Why are y'all taking y'all hard earned money, giving it to people that are less than y'all?
Right. And then what did I tell you? I said, and as far as people who have more, or people like myself, bitch, I already got it. Why I need y'all? right?
Yeah, you
But my
did.
platform was not a money platform.
It was not.
I didn't play that.
So stop. And then I hate that when they group you into. I hate when they group you into with those people who were or are about money and money grabs and stuff. I hate when they put you in those groups because I to
I'm
me
waiting for that. I'm waiting for somebody large because that's gonna be the biggest, most
it
provable lie
is,
ever. I'm waiting for someone large to say I took some money from Rizzy. I'm waiting for that.
and it's not gonna happen because you
Waiting
never
for that.
did.
That's gonna
Even
hit
you,
the world
and to
in
be honest about everything is you really never asked Rizzy to come over to your side. To be honest, and I'm not trying to be mean or trying to be like don't do her like that or nothing like that. You didn't. She came voluntarily because she knew what kind of person you were and what you stood for. That's why she was over there
Yep.
with you. So,
But
you know,
the irony is, I met her while she was bullying someone. I had to stop.
yes.
You don't remember that? I met her stopping her from bullying
Was it
somebody.
Dime? Wait, I keep getting it
It
mixed up.
wasn't
Who
Diamond,
was it?
it was Atlas. She was bullying on behalf of Kempton
Yes,
Thompson.
sure was.
It was
Atlas, who loved you, who kept coming to, who was on your panel, and she was like, I don't like him. He disrespects
You couldn't tell me a
women.
reason why she didn't like him, and
Right. And
that is the pure definition of cyberbullying. You
yep.
have no reason for talking to this person crazy. You have no reason for saying the things that you say to this person, and you're doing so. What we
Where
do
is
over here is argue with people. What she was
right.
doing was bullying. Let's
Right.
call some
Where is
other
Atlas?
things.
Atlas needs to speak up
He's
now.
off the app. He does like gaming and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So
Yeah, that
that
sure was. That's exactly what it was. And I remember you.
that's that's the I was telling her not to bully someone who was in my platform
That was,
because
and then
that's
you know,
exactly what she was
and then
doing,
in the
and he
end,
being a respectable gentleman that he is, he didn't want to talk crazy to her
and,
in return.
and
He was
then
like, I don't talk crazy to women,
right, you
but she was
brought them
talking
together.
crazy.
You made her understand, like, don't do that. Understand him, and you brought them, and we all start being on the panel together.
Fierce, like really fierce supporter of his. When I broke it down, it was like, why
Yes,
he hasn't done anything to you? Why are you talking to him? Like I said, Rizzy's law won't happen, y'all. With the clips I have, just know
I really hope people
it
have those
won't
clips.
happen because homegirl was a bully, her damn self. And we got clips of her
Well,
bullying people
well,
who refuse
Keyanna,
to
wait,
talk
Keyanna,
back to her.
well, Keyanna, we're not gonna say she was a bully. We want to
He
say she was
was.
misinformed.
Listen, I don't make saints out of demons and I don't make demons out of saints. I
She was
don't do
misinformed, and you
it.
did teach her the
I
right way.
call things. And the truth is the truth. So we have the clips of homegirl talking real crazy to people who was like, I'm not gonna talk back. I don't wanna say anything back in return. Rizzy's law
But I
won't happen.
can say this: you never begged her for money. You never said, "Rizzy, you need to throw some money at." Never. I never heard that. Never.
And in my opinion, I think that's where Braid King messed up, though. I think in all of the things that Braid did, and I know he was trying to be respectful, I dig it, but he was getting drugged through the goddamn streets when he had the data. He literally should have went ghost like Candy did and told the kingdom, show the goddamn clips of what we put up with over here with her. And this shit wouldn't have, that boy wouldn't have gotten drugged like he did, and it's
But
still doing.
but you know what, Keon? You know what's the thing out there right now? It's like, oh, they're still trying to drag her. So
I'm
why
with
are
it.
they? Wait, Kiana. You know, Kiana, wait.
He had the data. He had the
Yeah, yeah,
fucking
yeah.
data. And
Kiana
what
and
made
Messy TikTok, this all would fly. But
yeah,
now,
but that's the problem. That's the problem. He didn't have to open his mouth. Let me get my thing before it go dead. Hold on.
okay, you want me to get off?
No, no, no. My charger. No, he didn't have to say a word, and he shouldn't have said a word. But his people had the clips, and that's their job. They're supposed to defend him fiercely and not let people make him out to be, you know what I mean, X, Y, or Z. So I just didn't understand it. I was like, he had the clips, the data
But it
of
had
what they
went,
went through in that
but
damn kingdom with her.
but
He
Kiana,
had the data.
it was beyond Messy TikTok then.
I looked at what I looked at a woman this morning. She didn't, and I must say, she didn't mention me. She didn't mention Heartbreaker. She didn't mention, nobody but him.
Mm-hmm.
That's all she mentioned, him. And she literally was like, it was like she was wishing bad on him. Thank you. And she was like, you are gonna get, and I was like, Bray fucked up bad with that one, man. He should have literally let them clips roll. He should have literally and it is what it is. You can't, it should have came out on troll pages or whatever they had to do. But the truth should have came out and he should have been behind the scenes, somebody thinking he in a damn mental hospital. That's what should have happened. To get that shit, like I said, I collected mine. I was like, when it really affects,
Well,
oh, they
Kiana,
don't.
we're not finna worry about Bray now because it seems like he got his
He got,
right
yeah,
now.
he do what he want to do. He's grown. He's a grown man.
Yeah, we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna let him do what he want to do. Right now, we're gonna focus on you because I don't know if you know it or not, but you have supporters out here too,
Appreciate it.
and we're kind of playing the background now. We don't know what to
Yeah,
do.
a lot of y'all have sent, like I said, some of these clips are like, well, how the fuck did you find that? And they have said I looked hard or I had it and I don't like what you're going through. And
Right?
I'm like,
We don't, because we truly know where you started, and
yeah,
we're kind of, and to me, I'm kind of hurt a little bit of some of the things I see. And I know you're way harder than we are. That's why we love you, because you were like our kind of, I want to say, like our little superhero type person.
yeah. And if I'm not
I know
delivering,
it's crazy to think, and you probably like, don't y'all be thinking about me like no superhero. But you were kind of like our little,
I'm the people's champ. You asked me a question earlier. You said, "What will you do in your next chapter?" I said, "Whatever it is
right,
making people." So sometimes me being a champion for other people, my sister just told me last week, she said, I want you to stop trying to save people because these people keep ruining you in the long run or trying to harm you in the long run. But you are who you are, you know what I mean? And so again, let's clock some things. I came on TikTok as someone who was teaching financial literacy,
you were.
buying homes, all of that stuff. Thank you. Um, and I saw the money games be played, and I was like, why would y'all give money to people who don't have what y'all got? I just didn't understand. I said, and then those who got what you got, they don't need no more of your money. That's your heart. Some of y'all are single moms, and some of y'all are young families. Why the fuck is you giving your people, and they was like, oh yeah, she got to go. She got to go. And we can't counsel her because she don't have her platform based on money.
Right.
So we got to make her out to be a bad, horrible person. And me being the clown that I can be at times played into it because I'm like, who the fuck you ring my bell, I'm coming.
And you know what? We loved all of that.
Right.
We loved
So
all of the clapbacks because it was like, wait a minute, I can have money. Kiana says she's a millionaire. I can have my good job, and if I want to donate to Kiana, if they had even tried to give you a special character because we were doing all the special, the little one, the what?
yeah,
What?
Your cats, the Keyanna.
Yeah,
Y'all,
it was the Kiana. If we want to donate that all month, all morning to her, we're gonna do that. Rizzy was over there with us doing that.
I don't think Rizzy threw any Meerkats though.
You don't think so?
No, because Laugh came out with the Meerkats, and I want to say Rizzy
She
might have been
did.
gone.
You
She
know, she
might.
came from Dime. You know, she was
You
Nosies
know what?
first.
Rizzy was around when the Meerkats, because
Yeah,
um, Laugh came out with the Meerkats because I was against Diamond, and she and Diamond was still close until
right.
the Gala situation. Yeah. So yeah, the Rizzy might have did throw me. I just don't recall it because that was my biggest thing with her. Like, remember me having that discussion with her? Like, either I'm gonna like you because I like you, or I'm
Right.
not
It wasn't
because
about money. It wasn't about the gifts. It wasn't about that.
you can't throw gifts
Mm-mm.
from and stay in here. You can stay in here because it's a safe space. You
Yep.
know. She threw it in my face like, "Oh,
Say
you
it
threw
again,
it."
it's Kiana. Say that again. What did you say? What did you tell us? You
Something
said
about
that we did not what?
no money have to be thrown over here. Y'all don't have to support. I have a life. I have a lifestyle. I had it before I met y'all. I'm gonna keep having it after y'all, and y'all are not responsible for keeping up my lifestyle. And I'm gonna like you if I like you, and I'm not gonna like you if I don't like you. And your money is not gonna make the difference. That's just how I live my life. And so that's why we would say, Rizzy, take your ass to class, and we'll save your seat and come back. We don't care if you haven't thrown anything, and it was a safe space until it wasn't. And so it is what it is. Like I said, I'm grateful for those who have sent. Like I mean, I literally got a clip the other day of Genty wishing death on me, my husband, Sobe's mother to be touched in Brooklyn. Um, all for Rizzy. All because I was taking up
And
for the
and where were they when you were talking all this? Rizzy, go to class. Rizzy, do better. Rizzy, stay out of those spaces. Where were they then?
thank you, Smash Back. Exactly. Yep. So the clips are there. The clips have come, and there's more out. There's more out there, but some of them have just blown my mind because I was like, where did you find that? And
But at the end of the day, what do we want them to know? We want them to know like we were never against Rizzy. We were Rizzy's biggest fans.
well,
We
y'all ask me
really
the question, but you don't want my answer.
go ahead, Kiana.
But I want them to know.
Yes, what you want them to know because they need to know.
They don't need to know.
Yes, Kiana.
As I told an attorney today, um, the one thing that irks my soul about all of this, more than the death threats, more than um, I hate the fact that these people has got this girl all over the world as this innocent person who had a dog, and then some people was picking up. That irks my fucking soul.
Well,
Like,
Kiana, she was on messy TikTok with the rest of us.
the hello, thank you.
But
No one, no
they
one.
can't.
It's not boggling anybody's mind that if she was so innocent, why the fuck was she over here? Why was she paying these horrible people to be
And when she
over here?
never paid you.
Never paid me, but I'm just saying, why was she like? I remember I had that conversation with her and said, "What the fuck are you doing over here? This is not going to end well. You're too good for this." Because I saw the image that is out there right now. That it's all over. I saw that in her until she
Right.
showed me the real. Then I was like, "Oh, you feel that? I'm gonna try. You full of
Yeah,
shit.
you
You
think it was just too
matter of
soon? It
fact,
was.
you the listen.
It may have been too
Bridget was
soon.
the 50 Cent of messy TikTok, baby.
Wait, Kiana,
Over
wait,
there.
that Kiana,
She
wait.
was She was the fucking 50 Cent of
Keyanna,
Missy Pop. I don't care. And only difference between 50 Cent and Reezy, 50 stayed on 50 mode. Reezy would switch up and get on some goddamn, now you on Al Be Sure. Stop playing with me. You a
Keyanna,
business,
wait a
you
minute,
a
Keyanna. It's
menace,
too
stay
soon.
menace. You a menace, stay a menace. Don't come talking about I can love you night and day. See you in the club. Get on.
Keyanna,
Get
it's
on.
too, you know what? Keyanna, it's too soon for all of that. That's what it is.
Okay, not to, never to someone tell the truth. As I said before, she was the 50 Cent of Messy Talk. She was petty like 50 Cent. She had the bread to throw around and not give a damn like 50 Cent. But the only problem was she would switch up and do the Abby shirt and talking out. That shit would hurt my soul. Stop playing with me. The Aaron and the Roy, as I said when she was alive. That's just what it was. She was Aaron 1 minute, Roy the next. And the clips of her being Roy is
But
hilarious.
we all can admit that we did love Rizzy the same as we love all the rest of the people on Messy TikTok. We did.
Oh, awesome.
Keyanna,
What?
we have a love for Rizzy just like we have a love for all of the people on.
September the 19th was it for me and her. And that's it. And that is all.
It was
September.
nothing evil or nothing malicious about it. It was
No,
just the
fuck
end.
me, go to hell. She's grown. I can't be getting her out of panels. Hey, darling, it was over for she and I on September 19th, 2024. Hey, Toy Baby. Hey, Lan. It was over, and there's that.
But
And
you did have some times where you tried, you know.
I had a time where
I just, yeah, I just
right
want the
there,
people to know, huh?
that shower right there, that's where I do a good bit of my thinking. And I remember ending my show, and we had just had to fuss her butt to class. Say, go your butt to class, da 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 da.
I remember one of those mornings.
I remember coming up here and getting my shower, and I said, God, you know how I wanted to go to law school so bad. I even wanted my daughter to go to law school. Y'all, that's
I
back
think
in
you
the day.
told Rizzy that one time too. I think
Yeah,
you told her that.
gavel. I bought my daughter her gavel in third grade for Christmas. I wanted her to go to law school. I bought the LSAT cards and all that stuff. So I stood right there in that shower and said, well, you've brought a young lady in my life who's in law school. And I can't wait to see her walk across the stage. That shower right there, those were mine. That's why I sleep good at night because
And
I'm
you know
like
what I
that.
saw? I remember you saying one morning you was like, when you found out, I think that you had just found out that it was something wrong with her leg or something, and she had went through that disability. You was like, wow, that's amazing because your daughter had went through
You got a good ass
something.
memory.
I
Your
remember
memory is amazing.
that's not.
Yeah, we had that talk because I didn't. She was. That's when she was on her errand, and she was like, "I didn't want to tell you, but you mentioned that your daughter had a leg brace, and I'm still on a leg brace." And I was like, "What?" Because it was like so many correlations. Like I was like, "This is so weird. How does she have my oldest son's birthday? My son who is deceased is born on the same day Rizzy's born." Her voice and the things that she was doing in life was exactly like my baby daughter. And she had the disability that my oldest daughter had.
I remember you saying that one morning.
I was like, you got a lot of things in common with me and or my kids, so to speak. And so it was weird. Like I said, when she told me her birthday, I was like, whoa, that's my son's birthday. She was like, yeah, and then like I said, it was just a lot. So to end like this, It's crazy, but it is what it is. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat that shit, and I'm not gonna make her, and I'm not gonna revert back to feeling the way I felt standing in that shower right there, because Rizzy did some really fucked up shit to me. And I
Well, and
will.
not dead, but just said. She said some really fucked up shit.
No, she did some fucked up shit.
Well,
That
I
you
don't know
don't.
about all that because
You don't know.
at one point I left out.